Everybody, here I am, I'm live. Hey Genevieve, hey Sanchez. What's up?
What's that? Since I don't get to see you very
I know,
much.
you drove all the way out here. This is great. We got lots of people here. This is great. Genevieve is here. We got lots of people here. Okay, so there's Claude and everybody. How are you? The Debate Society is hosting this. All right, so here we are. We're in Marcy Auditorium right now. They're not letting us in yet, and that's fine. Okay, I said I'd go live, everybody. We're making California great again. Hey, everybody. Hey, patty cakes. Okay. So what are you? So you guys are. All right, I'm on my own now. Just don't leave without me. Okay. And can I step out really quick? I'll come back in. Where'd they go? Okay, look. See, you always bring trouble. What is the matter with you, Robert? Don't you have any shame? Now we have to have security here.
Get a job.
Here we go.
Stop living. Stop.
Everybody.
Stop living. Stop
Hey,
living.
this guy is Robert Hernandez. He doesn't have a job. This guy gets paid by George Soros, and they still like rip him off.
There you go with your fake news.
What happened to all that money you were supposed to use to go to North Dakota? Oh, that's right, you spent it. You wasted it. Hold on right there. Let me get this hat. Make California great again. There's now we. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Okay, I promise I'll be my last time. Look at this. They have to bring all kinds of security now. They're so demented. Let me just like. It's like looking at wild animals, but at least I'm outside. Everybody, say hi. Say hi. How are you? So what are you gonna? Okay, everybody. Here's Jasmina, and there's Miss Gilliam. We know the truth. We're telling people the truth.
Actually, she told me I should stay on Senate, but now I'm gonna.
We need a senator. We have no.
Okay, so here's the thing though, if God forbid he gets elected, then you jump into the special election. But he has to get elected to insurance commissioner, which we don't want. We want Peter Quo to be our next insurance commissioner.
Right.
So in the meantime, I would encourage you to think about, well, someone's got to take Christina Garcia because she can't keep her hands to herself. She's always grabbing men. Men are now, it's now men too, not just me too.
Right.
So you should think, men too.
I filed today.
For, but which seat though?
Conference district.
You're gonna still run on 44?
Yeah, you
okay.
know why? Because today, I don't know if you are aware that Stacey Bash got her first scandal out there. And I think it's more to come. It's more to come, so.
Oh, she's gonna be in too much trouble and she'll drop out?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. Hi, Nelly. Okay, we're still waiting. I am live, so Peter runs away. I know. I understand. Okay, so here we are at Marcy Auditorium. A nice little name. Okay, he's the benefactor. It's named after. Okay, so news is traveling pretty fast right now about John Cox and how he was lying, how he's been lying about Travis Allen's pro-life record. And now we find out, so you're the John Cox guy, right? Okay. He needs to stop lying about Travis Allen. He has a superb record on life, and John Cox is totally lying about it. He is picking and choosing. Which one? Which record? Are we talking about 2014 or 2016?
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. I'll tell you why. 2016, he voted to repeal the tax on feminine products. That's the first thing. Done. Next. So you're against tax cuts.
You can't come up, Arthur, and argue.
Sure I can.
No, you
I just did.
Come up.
You're doing it now.
Arguing it. No, you are. You can't come up and argue that he doesn't have a record when all you have to do is do a basic Google search and
okay,
look.
we sure did. I've already done it. And did you know he got 0 in 2013, 2015, and this year too? So why is John Cox not going to tell
Where's the
that?
California Pro-Life Council? Why wasn't he endorsed?
Good question. Maybe it's because your guy lied to them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's it.
Yeah.
And there's a history of this with this guy too. Let's talk about why was he a progressive Republican in Chicago? Please explain that to me. That's how he advertised himself on the record. Why? On the radio.
What does that have to do with your radio?
It has plenty to do with it. He's progressive. Why did he call himself progressive?
What's your point?
My point is, this is a guy that we don't see having a commensurate conservative record. Why was he not talking about sanctuary state until Travis Allen talked about it? He is trying to ride Travis Allen's coattails on repealing Senate Bill 54.
Just like Travis Allen's doing on CEQA, right?
On what?
CEQA.
What about CEQA? I can't wait for it to be repealed.
John Cox was the first one to say it. Travis is saying he said it.
So you're changing the subject. You don't want to own up to the fact that on the immigration issue, and you guys are lying. He was honest there at the Redlands Tea Party. He said he has a 0 from Planned Murderhood. That's what he got in 2017.
That's a lie.
No, it isn't. You can go to the record. You go to the record right now, 2017. It's over, guys. It's over. I can't believe you pulled this. They're terrified now. One more time here. Hi. Hey, how are you?
Nice to see you.
What's your name?
Sylvia Calhoun.
Okay. I am live, so
you
give me.
and I were in Claremont together. Well, I know Gary Galino.
Oh, like last year when all the kids showed up and raised hell and they were screaming at us and I told them, suck it up. Those kids were so triggered, but it was a great day. And we also, did you ever see what we did to Hussam Ilaush when we crashed his, he had a talk. It was in the...
By the way, you're Michael? No.
Yeah, Michael.
Michael, how you doing?
This is Arthur and that beautiful woman, her name is Amy.
Yes.
And we're big Travis Allen.
Huge. You need to go after, it is one of the most astonishing things. You know, John Cox has been lying about Travis Allen's pro-life record. It is astonishing. Oh, he has this and that from Planned Murderhood. Why? Because he voted to lower taxes and also because he voted for transparency. I researched it today. And John Cox and company have been hiding that, and they make it sound like he's a puppet for Planned Murderhood. Total lie. And this is something we should, I guess, not be surprised about when you look at John Cox is from Chicago. Dead people vote there. People engage in a lot of unseemly stuff in that town. So one thing's for sure, I don't want that in my state. So when somebody starts giving you guff about that, that's what you do. We're going to put it on full blast.
Amy.
There you are. Okay. Hi. Good to see you.
And he loves to just go out and just...
We're going to be kicking butt, so things are going to be really good. Thanks for everything you're doing. Get me a shirt. I'd like to get a shirt. Okay. Thanks for reminding me. John Cox voted for Gary Johnson, Goofy Gary, Status Gary, Open Borders Gary, put me in a jail for not baking a cake for a gay wedding Gary. I'm on myself, don't worry. Hey, I made it. Did you see what I found out about John Cox and Travis?
Yes.
Isn't that scheming? I went and confronted him and they're just like absolutely terrified now. They should. So really quick, I'll just let everyone know. Here's Tracy. Hey. Okay, you're still there. So, okay, off record. Mark, okay, no, that's fine, don't worry. I'll make sure. Hey, Mark, don't worry, I won't have you on camera, don't worry. Good to see you. So I haven't been to El Segundo lately. Hopefully I'll be back soon. We got the crowd here, folks. All set, Mandy? Okay. Good, we're still, all right. Nice hat. There you go. Sorry. Glad you made it, brother. I know it's a long drive for the two of you coming out here.
Well, we're here to get Travis Allen.
Yes, please. We need to make sure that John Cox is history after this. So we need to go after him on the life issue. We need to go after him on who did he vote for president? He voted for Goofy Gary, Pothead Gary, Open Borders Gary, put me in a jail cell if I don't bake a cake for a gay wedding Gary. Yes, he did. He absolutely said he would do that.
Yeah, he got to get planned and they got the high energy, just like our president.
We need that, yes. And he's not afraid to identify with our president. That's so important. This guy was so awesome. He was there when we went after Raphael, and he was running around. He probably lost some weight that day.
Yeah, yes. Please help me. Please help me.
Help me. Will you help me? Will you help me? Will you help me? So this is what we have to do, but we're still waiting. Jeff Sessions, we can't wait any longer. Get over here now. Declare martial law. Okay. All right, so here we are, folks. How you doing? Okay. All right. Hey, what's going on? Love the hat. All right. How you doing? Good to see you. How you doing? What's your name?
Steve Ridley.
Nice to meet you, Steve.
I follow you on Facebook.
Oh, great. You have to follow me on YouTube now. I'm not on Facebook. I got banned for good, and I don't want to go back. I'm happy.
It's been banned.
Everybody's getting
this
banned.
week, yeah.
It's just unbelievable. They're just cracking down on everybody.
And he's just a generic community news reporter.
Who else got banned?
My brother. He's a news reporter
from
in Florida. He's
in Florida,
completely non-political. He interviewed some teenage kid
okay,
at
looks
the
like
high
we can
school,
go in now.
And the mother complained to Facebook.
Oh, brother.
And
let's go on in here. Unbelievable. I'm voting for Omar. Go Omar. Omar Navarro. Omar Navarro.
You're a criminal just like him.
Here we go. Okay, folks, I'm going to go for the middle of the middle here, if they'll let me. Okay, folks, here we go. So I'm not going to be all the way in the front.
You want to go in the front?
No, I want to be able to see him. If I'm all the front, it'll be all the way up. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we all got here early. Looks like we're going to have a lot of space. A1, thanks for coming. Okay, we're all good. You'll notice how there are only 2 podiums today because Mr. Ozzy got the message and dropped out early. Yeah, Doug just jumped in like 2 weeks ago and then he jumped out. So, yep, just like my former assemblyman, he wanted to run for governor. He announced a bid, or he put up a committee April last year, and then the whole thing fell apart. And then he dropped out. I told him to drop out, and he did. So that was good. Thank you, David Hadley, for thinking about all of us. Wait, this is the part when older ladies turn around to give the middle finger. Okay. Well, the good news is we're not going to have Antifa here. The good news is we're not going to have a bunch of left-wing zealots. We had a couple of brown supremacists outside. They're just absolutely obsessed with me. They must want my signature or something. I guess now he has I don't know. He maybe has fantasies about me. I don't want to think about it.
Old. I'm watching one from earlier today.
So here we go, folks. Really quick. We're gonna have John Cox, Mr. We don't want Obama. We don't want more Obama. Okay. Everybody, I'm gonna show you what we're dealing with right now. There's the audience. There's the auditorium. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, we got people from Houston. All right, folks, I can't emphasize this enough. All of you Texans need to be voting right now. You've got an early primary, okay? We don't want Democrats overtaking Texas, so you need to vote, 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 and get Ted Cruz to be #1 there on the ballot, and Governor Abbott too. I'm urging you, please, we can't let Democrats get 1 inch anywhere in this country. People are asking about Omar. He's very much pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, pro-life, pro-family, pro-secure border, pro-Trump. And a couple of people are desperate to try to bring him down. The guy has raised more money. At 1 quarter, he raised more than Maxine Waters had raised. Yeah, someone's asking about diet pills. She wasn't here today. She probably was at a buffet eating everybody out of house and home. She tried to take over our meeting a couple months ago, and we ended up throwing her out. Yeah, these are funny people. They're easy to mess with, so don't worry. We're all safe here. All right, Mandy, do you mind if I ask you a couple things? Or just no, that's fine. Don't worry about it. No problem. Don't worry.
It's been a while since I've been on camera.
Yeah, I got you. Do you have any more of those funny pictures of Nowie and diet pills? I'll have to ask a friend of mine. He's in Texas, and he makes those really funny pictures. So I'll probably put one of them up. I'll have that taken care of really soon. Want to just be sure I respect everybody's privacy. So please share this. I've given the Travis Allen campaign some of the information. I'm really hoping today's the day that John Cox will finally get the message and drop out. All the money in the world is just not gonna buy him love. So folks, here we go. Here we go. I hate La Raza, so do I. They're racist. Their whole name means race. Okay, folks. It's gonna be some downtime right now. Everybody's settling in. What we got? Like that shirt, Travis Allen. Yes. Very nice. I hope they can get me one. We got people all over. Okay. All right. What time is it?
6:41.
Okay, we still got some time. All right. Do you mind if you want to save my seat?
Yeah.
Okay, just keep an eye on it. Let me go around really quick. I'll be right back. Excuse me. Oh, thank you so much. All right. Here we go, folks. We're going to have the two moderators right there. We've got the stage up front. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. We were there at Target. We were there to stop them from doing... Okay, here we go. Okay, so just giving a little bit of the front row. This might be kind of nice. Whether it's lightly attended or heavily attended, we should be just fine. Okay. So, Marzi Auditorium, huge. Lots of space. Okay, we got our police. All right, awesome, thank you. I feel safe already. This is hosted by the debate team. Wait, okay, perfect. Okay. So what's this table for? Joining the CRA?
What?
This is like to join the CRA?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, okay, everybody. So here's Scott, and tell us how we can join if we want to join the CRA.
Right now, with a one-time payment of $25 for the whole year, and fill out this application, and you're on the list.
Perfect. And so there are units
accepted by the board.
Oh, okay.
But that won't be a problem. You must be a Republican Party member.
Okay, that's it. You have to be registered Republican. That's the most important thing. Okay. We've got police here already because the heifers out there are really violent. Okay, very good. This is perfect. Cities. Oh, wait.
Okay, great. Yeah, so yeah, envelopes and that would be wonderful because I'm using those really small ones that we need a magnifier for. Okay, thank you. Okay.
He's got his 5-point plan, folks.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. So
They're bringing up the better.
you were able to find on my channel. You'll find it and share it because I'm already going live. So.
Yeah, I messengered Christy Peter, who's in charge of social media, and
Right.
told her you would be live streaming on YouTube.
Okay. Perfect. We're good.
Get that and filter it down to everybody.
This is Gayla, everybody. She's the lead volunteer helping to coordinate.
Yes.
Travis is going to be spending a lot of time in LA County, and I'm really glad.
We already have 10 events lined up for sure, with more coming on all the way through May 4th so far. So
Perfect.
It's going to be here a lot.
Good.
A lot more demand than actually what we can handle.
Have we been able to convince Doug Ozzie to endorse?
Out.
I know he's out, but can we convince him to endorse? Has there been any work on that?
We'll work on that.
I hope
Absolutely.
so. He should get behind it. I know he's not going to jump into another statewide race.
I heard he was going to back Travis.
Well, let's hope so.
It's something I read today, but don't quote me on it.
That's fine. We're hearing it. He should, because Ozzie was a strong Trump supporter.
And I replied, okay, good. Now we just need John Cox to back out.
We need him to
and
go.
put his money behind Travis.
Absolutely. That's what I would love to see. That's what we can only hope for. Do you notice how there has to be all these security? Because you have those brown supremacists out there that love to harass people who don't look like them. So they want to.
Protesters out there?
I guess I don't know who exactly they're protesting. I'm not really sure. I don't know if it's about me. I can't believe it's about me. I'm not that important.
I don't know. Maybe.
You know. So they seem to have a problem with people. They don't like diversity. We have all kinds of people of all kinds of backgrounds here. But they're brown supremacists. They believe this is stolen land, that it should go back to the indigenous people, Mexico, and even Mexicans don't want it to be Mexico. Mexicans come here.
My husband, I know it's bad, he's been here 30 years. He's going to be a citizen soon. He's still not.
Oh, okay.
But I keep asking, are you going back to Mexico?
He needs to hurry so he can vote for Travis.
So I said, well, you better do something soon because I'm not going back to Mexico with you.
No way.
So,
we want this country to be
the
pure
pressure's on.
and wonderful for people of all backgrounds. So, all right, perfect. We know you're going to go live with that. Hey, Ron Riggs. How are you? Hi. How you doing?
I like that little article you wrote up a little bit.
About
Myself and all the...
you two got to get in a room and figure this out.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Well, I disagree. Someone's going to have to do something because I can't do anything.
Why don't you do it?
I could. You and Tom sit down and we'll figure it out.
We've talked 4 times already.
And I've talked to Tom.
Yeah,
So we need one person to line up.
You said some kind words.
But I have. I can't deny that. Ron
Not a
Riggs.
bad guy, right?
Ron Riggs is running for mayor of Torrance. We need somebody better than.
We need somebody to support me.
Somebody better than corrupt, creepy, crooked, fat Pat Fury. Ron Riggs made it. Okay. Debate people. Hey, how are we doing? We're going to go back inside. Hey. I've got to find out where I sit. How you doing? Okay, I was in the right row. Here we go. Excuse me. All right, perfect.
Glad you came, Arthur.
Yes, I'm glad I could make it. Somebody helped me out, so we're good. Hey, Gary.
Yep. How you been? It's been a while.
Tell me your name.
Manuel.
Manuel.
Yeah, it's at the Sizzlers, yeah.
Sizzler?
Yeah, Republican meeting.
The what?
Republican meeting.
Yeah,
All right, folks, just hang in there.
You haven't been coming around, huh?
No, I've been working a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. Yeah.
Make diet pills lose weight again. Very good, everybody. So I went and visited the brown supremacist. I went and visited the heifers.
I think I'll come back to this seat.
The restroom is,
Yeah, there on that side, I think, over there.
over there? I'll be back.
Yeah, I saw them over there. I think they also have restrooms on the other side.
I'll be back.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, somebody said, okay, hey, Eli. I got Eli Coe. Your sister lives in Torrance. Tell her to vote for Travis Allen for governor. We are about ready to clear out this race. Okay, so I'm going to revisit a couple of other things here. A lot of the reasons why I am supporting Travis Allen and why I hope that we can finally put this whole primary to bed. Yeah, here we go. Make Nowie grow tall again. I think that's nothing short of a miracle right there. I think it's possible. Okay, so first of all, Travis Allen is pro-life. I want to establish that right now. John Cox has been running a pretty hefty and corrupt record going after Travis's pro-life record. He actually has votes. He has voted against abortion. He has voted against baby killing, sex selection, etc. I have done a massive study on this, so you can look at that. On the Second Amendment, Travis Allen is top-notch. He's an A with the NRA on that subject, no question about it. The biggest issue affecting Californians, though, is illegal immigration. And unlike other statewide Republican candidates, Travis has not been afraid to challenge this issue faced it, front and center. We need to repeal sanctuary state. Okay, it has made us more and more unsafe. We have illegals now who can not only break into this country, that makes them criminals right there, but now they can commit serious crimes and not have to worry about an ICE detainer deporting them. So this is a very serious concern. Travis Allen has been outspoken on this. He submitted legislation which would defund sanctuary jurisdictions in the state of California. He took it to committee and then it died in committee as expected. Democrats want to protect illegals. They don't want to protect American citizens. Travis has been outspoken on this matter. Cox is like a liberal. I find this is a guy who wants to kind of step on both sides of the issue. He is trying to find some kind of a middle ground going into the general election, and he's estimating that because he sits on a lot of money, that's going to make him competitive. But Donald Trump was outspent 2-1 by crooked Hillary, and even with that, we know how it ended. Okay, Trump won, and now we're going to work to make California great again. Okay, so that's where we are today. So immigration is a big issue. The other thing that is really important to me is the single payer problem. you've got Gavin Newsom, who is staunchly in favor of turning the entire medical industry over to the government, so that it would be like going to the DMV just to get any kind of health care. So that's a real problem. It's just unthinkable that we've come to this place in the state of California. In Vermont, there was a Democratic trifecta. The Democrats controlled the state legislature, and they had a Democratic governor. And even then, they didn't even touch single payer. They could not afford it. Vermont would have had to pass one of the most massive tax increases. It would have bankrupted everybody. It would have bankrupted everybody in the state. So Vermont tried it, and it didn't happen. In Colorado, they tried to enact single payer by statewide initiative, and that fell apart. People voted against it. And Colorado has gone from, purple to bluish, but even then, voters don't want single payer. They don't want government-controlled health care. And now in California, we've got people, even in California, you had the Speaker of the State Assembly, Anthony Rendon. He shelved Senate Bill 562. There was no funding mechanism for it. Antonio Villaraigosa is the only Democrat I know of who has spoken out against the current single-payer proposals that were passed out of the state Senate. But even that's probably the reason why he had such a low estimation, why he did so poorly among Democratic delegates. Sorry, folks, I'm going to try to make sure I see your comments. Stargazer, we got to get rid of the bad commies in the CA legislature and the courts, especially the Ninth Circuit. There's discussion right now to either break up or defund the Ninth Circuit because it's so liberal. Never-Trumper Alex Kaczynski, he was one of the major federal judges. He took a forced retirement because of Me Too allegations, because of sexual misconduct. So he's gone. There's a lot of liberal judges that need to retire. And President Trump has done an incredible job of filling a lot of the court vacancies. He's done a great job filling up the court vacancies to have a judicial philosophy that reflects our constitutional principles. So President Trump has done an excellent job. He appointed Neil Gorsuch. The Supreme Court discussed Janus versus AFSCME of Illinois, which, if it goes the way we want it to, we're going to see public sector unions across the country lose their easy money flow from forced donations. This is going to be really good. So I'm really excited about what's happening right now. This is really good. Please publish all crimes in California by illegal aliens. Wow. It is staggering the amount of crime that's committed by illegals. And it's amazing to me the lengths that people go to at the state level, especially now because of SB 54, as well as even federally, how those statistics are buried. There was an article published in The Hill by an immigration expert, a gentleman who had worked for the Border Patrol, and he makes a point that the staggering number of federal crimes, a good number of them are occurring around the border, and thereby committed by illegals. We are paying a hefty cost because of illegal immigration. It's hurting Arizona, it's hurting Texas. A lot of the crimes are happening in Texas, in the El Paso, in that corridor between the Gulf of Mexico up to El Paso. Big problem. Tell Travis Allen to promise to bring gas prices down to Arizona levels. Yes, we've got to repeal that gas tax. We need to get rid of the Democratic 2/3 majority. It's gone for now because of all the Democrats who've been forced to resign because of sexual perversions. So we have a chance with the governor, at least, that he'll start vetoing a lot of this outrageous spending. So that's what I'm hoping for in that regard. What time is it?
It's 6:50.
Oh, okay, we got a little time left. Is that's your niece?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one you were hugging? Okay, got it. Hey, Joanne, glad you're here. Democrats are putting illegals ahead of American citizens. It's terrible. Keep up the awesome work. Thanks, Pike Mintz. DACA is almost over, folks. I don't care. A couple of federal district judges have said that the president couldn't arbitrarily roll back the program. That's not true. This is going to go all the way up to the Supreme Court. It will take a little longer. So the president, we're going to see different challenges going through different circuit courts. But I can assure you, by the time that this law, if it does come before the Supreme Court, by the time it gets there, it's going to be very easy to promote and secure the president's authority to repeal the program. He was very generous, honestly, to allow for a 6-month window from September for the DACA program. He had every right to just terminate it immediately without any further recourse. So the president wanted to restore constitutional checks and balances. to allow Congress to try to come up with a solution. They're not going to be able to do it. Democrats don't want to solve this problem. They never wanted to solve this problem. All they wanted to do was to keep demagoguing this wedge issue so that they could secure a permanent point of contention and keep getting votes. They want illegal votes. We see how Democrats are willing to throw the young illegals under the bus for the chain migration and the diversity visas. Those are groups of voters that will they come into the country legally. Chain migration, we have 1 million immigrants coming in a year, many of them because of connections to family. It's all because of chain migration. So this is a big problem, and this is an issue I hadn't paid attention to. Many immigration enforcement advocates have been telling me what needs to be done is the chain migration needs to be cut, and some of them have even told me they'll accept some kind of a legal status, temporary status for the DACA if it will cut legal immigration. So I thought that was pretty profound. So American nationalist comments, that's way too many. 1 million immigrants a year is a lot. And we just don't have the place, we don't have the job needs to fill those. And what we're seeing is all of these illegals come into the country, and then they, they're undercutting the labor market, so wages are plummeting. It's just, this is hurting our working communities, it's hurting our environment, it's hurting the quality of life. Ann Coulter was one of the most effective proponents on cutting legal immigration as well as stopping illegal immigration. We've got to stop the flow, we've got to plug up the leaks, we have to build the wall, and we need to ensure that whoever is running the state of California next year will work with our president to protect American lives. I've met moms and dads whose children have been killed by illegals, and their story is never told. Nobody knows the pain that people like Agnes Gibney have gone through, or that Angie Morphine has endured, because their children were murdered by illegals. Kate Steinle, she had dreams too, and it's shocking and just so disarming to me that a jury in San Francisco would acquit her murderer. Jose Zarate murdered Kate Steinle. He should never have been in the country. He was released without legal authorization from the San Francisco jail system. The ICE had issued a detainer, which San Francisco needed to comply with. Immigration law is not one of those people can pick and choose whether they obey them or not. San Francisco is an outlaw city. Sanctuary cities should be called outlaw cities. They are violating the rule of law. They're undermining our legal culture. So let me see. Do you believe Tony is bad for the movement? I'm not going to be getting into internecine conflicts at this time. I'm interested right now in getting the word out to ensure that we get the best governor representing the state of California. And that individual is Travis Allen. I'm hoping that with this debate we will finally get rid of John Cox. This man may have a lot of money, but he doesn't have a lot of momentum behind him. Red Star 76 points out, Americans indeed. Americans are the dreamers we need to be caring about. Americans have dreams, and their dreams are being deferred or being demolished because illegals are taking the entry-level jobs. Illegals are getting the prime spots in our colleges. This is a real problem, and it needs to be addressed and it needs to be put aside. Mike Farron, I love it. Citizens first. Thank you. I'll comment briefly. There are a lot of immigration or open border proponents, and they will say, we're a nation of immigrants. No, we're a nation of citizens, we're a nation of laws, we're a nation of liberty, we're a nation of limited government. And it's very important that we stand on that. Many people did come to this country legally. We have a large, wonderful culture that's based on immigrants, yes. But the fact is, I was born here, we have a large population that is born here. And we need to fight to ensure that this American culture remains intact. So Iwani, that quote by Joy Reid sadly works on people who just passively go along with the semi-humorous dismissal. Iwani, what have you been mentioning? I'm talking about MS-13. You mentioned something about them. There I am. Somebody's listening to me over there. So there's a bit of a blowback right there, everybody. I know that Joy Reid has been a mouthpiece for the left. The quote by Joy Reid where she dismissed MS-13, she doesn't seem to understand the massive violent threats that American communities have to deal with. in New York and Nassau County. It's very serious what people, the murders that have taken place, the ravaging death and destruction that is wreaked by a lot of those gangs. And we've got, we finally have a president who's dealing with it. So, Pike Meds. I'm appalled that Joy Reid said that MS-13 is only known because of Fox News. No, we know about it because it's a horrible group. I've known about it for a long time. I've talked about it with, other partisans in the area. So here we have our two debate moderators. We got Susan Shalley over there. The other guy, I don't know. I'm sure that information will be revealed to me very soon. Okay, everybody, this is what we got right now. We got slightly more people showing up. Honestly, I'm not too worried. If we have a decent audience, I'm okay with it. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would take your seats, we're going to get this debate started here real soon. Republican Assembly, and I want to do some polling. And every one of here who has a smartphone, you're going to be able to participate in my polling. If you're like my brother, who still has a flip phone, I'm sorry. But let me get set up here just a moment while people are taking their seats.
Oh, I know that guy. All right, there's Jerry Root. Was it easy to get here?
Yeah, like 30 minutes.
Okay.
GPS at 37.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
We got the stars on the screen.
A nice shot of the Milky Way. I don't know where that comes from. That is on my desktop.
Okay. All right, Rick.
That is a snowflake. And that is a polar bear.
Okay, thanks for letting us know. You mean they're still alive? I mean, global warming hasn't killed them all?
We're not going back to the woman, I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
I should have been out here, but I was too busy doing other things.
It's okay.
Awake while my poll gets set up. What you'll do is take out your smartphone.
Can you do the vote?
And you're going to be able, those of you who have a QR code reader,
he'll be able to do it.
I'm going to throw that QR code up on the screen and it'll take you right to the website. Otherwise, you're going to have to get on your browser and go to the website that you see.
I'm not going to take it. I got to record.
And those of you who are lost, that's okay. The debate will start soon. As you see, it takes a smartphone, and you can go to this www.menti.com and you enter a code, which is right there, and you'll be able to vote in my polls. Okay, I will give you a QR code, which is right there, and you should be able to, I tested that out today, you should be able to just...
you just go to that menti.com. That's what it was, menti.com.
Either menti.com.
Or if you can, I don't know how this works.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to move... Wait. There's the code. We need to see the code. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
I can't stop the entire debate here. We got to go quick, okay? I promised them we'd be quick.
Sorry about that, Rick.
All right? Well, you can, at the top of the thing, you'll see go to menti.com and use the code, which is over there, 18.
Okay, so everybody who's watching, there you go. Menti.com.
Or you can use this QR code, will take you right there. Okay, I'm going to have to move on. Those of you who are stragglers, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Got the flip phone. Okay. Well, I guess I'll leave that up. Oh, thank you for all those loves.
Aww.
Appreciate that. Yes, you can keep hitting those loves. We love it.
Let's get to 100.
Okay, first of all, I want to know how old you are.
Oh.
Now,
I'm not.
Don't lie to me. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Look at
Oh,
that.
look, a lot of, okay. 19's a big number. Okay. Wow.
Okay, a lot of people here are 19.
Gay?
Gay? Gay is not an age. Okay?
Okay.
100.
60, you
Awesome.
people holding up your end. Keep it up. Okay, very good. That's the next one. All right, let's do the next one. Okay, who did you vote for in the last presidential election?
Oh.
Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton,
Trump.
somebody else.
That's who Gary voted.
Yet you didn't vote for president. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to give you a very short amount of time to vote before I show the winner. I'm going to count
pretty
down
cool.
for 10 seconds. Okay. Yes. I am. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1 until voting closes. Okay, voting is closed. All right? And I'm not going to open voting, I'm not like that. And we'll show the winner.
Okay.
One of the people that were here.
Yay! Yay! God bless Donald Trump.
We have a Donald Trump crowd, I wonder why. Okay, let's
Because we want to live.
do the next one.
Oh,
Here tonight
this is going to be interesting.
Travis.
Travis.
We're gonna have a
Other.
countdown again. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to vote.
Look at it's
Okay?
covering up
Right here in
John.
the lower corner. You have to choose who you're going to vote for. Okay? All right. And the voting is closed. Let's see who the winner is.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Oh! Wow!
Good to know.
Wow!
Did that surprise you or what? Okay.
Well, that's going to be scary.
And the last. Oh,
Well, this is going to be a good debate then.
I'm done polling. So we're going to bring out.
When is Hillary going to
Jessica
prison?
Bishop, who is the faculty advisor to the speech and debate team, and she is going. We're going to have some candidates speak just before the debate, and you want to hear these. Francesca.
Come on out.
Good evening, thank you for coming. I'm Francesca Bishop and I'm a professor here at El Camino College. I've been here for 18 years and I teach communication studies. I also coach the national champion debate team, some of whom today will be asking the questions. And we're really pleased to host you all for the Republican gubernatorial debate. Before the
Check out the
debate
curtains.
actually begins, we have some other candidates who would like to have a few minutes of your time. So the first candidate is Tom Palzer. He is a candidate for U.S. Senate. Tom and his wife, Wendy, live in Rancho Cucamonga. He has 4 children and 5 grandchildren. He moved to California in 2010 from Chicago, where he was Deputy Director for Operations before retiring in 2008. Tom ran for local office in Illinois in 2000 and the U.S. Senate in California in 2016. So welcome, Tom.
Tom's helping to repeal Top 2.
Tom President.
Yay. Repealing Top 2.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Very nice to see all of you. If it weren't for the lights, I could see more of you. My name is Tom Palzer. I'm running for the United States Senate. And the qualifications that I hope earn me the position and earn your vote is that I have 32 years of experience as a long-range planner. And I work with government agencies, over 30 of them, both state and federal. And I also work with the elected and appointed officials at all levels of government. As you were told, I'm from Illinois originally, where they still vote from the grave. Just like LA County out here.
Yep.
What can I say? So, rather than get into a lot of detail, I'm going to go through some issues of importance to California and the nation, but first tell you that I am a U.S. Air Force veteran, and I hold a master's degree in urban planning.
Thank you for your service.
And the priorities that I have are to fully fund national defense and state and local law enforcement and seal our borders. We need to degrade and eliminate terrorist organizations wherever they may be. We need to expand our economy. We're doing well right now. We need to keep that going. We need to get rid of certain taxes for businesses.
Yep.
We need to grow jobs. And we also need to renegotiate our treaties, which these things are decades old.
Yep. And
they're hurting the United States. So we need to make sure that they are renegotiated so they help the United States of America. We need to help our veterans. I don't want to see another veteran die because he couldn't get an appointment. We also need to help our elderly in the years that they deserve to be helped. We need to help our homeless.
Yep.
We've got a terrible homeless situation, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. And we really need to take care of that situation. I am pro-life. I believe in life and consensual. And I'm also supporting the Second Amendment.
All right, Moreland Lobby.
I've attended 2 meetings, one last night and then one on Friday. I gave a speech on Friday to the Jewish Alliance, Republican Jewish Alliance. So I support Israel.
Yes.
And I want sanctions.
Yes.
I want sanctions put on North Korea so that little fat guy really...
Rocket Man.
And we also need to make sure that Iran does not develop a nuclear capability.
Yes, very serious.
In 2016, I wanted to place a moratorium on immigration because I wanted to know who is here now.
Thank you.
And I think we still need to do that. Now, a moratorium is a temporary thing, but it gives you time to think. We have a lot of people here already. We could just sort of slow the pace down and then build our way back up. If the administrators within the federal government, at INS, for example, Veterans Administration, did their job over the decades, we would not have problems of immigration and our veterans dying.
Yes, that's right.
I think one thing that you'll all agree about, since you're involved in education, either as a parent, grandparent, or student, we need to make sure reading and math levels are equivalent to when you go from grade school to middle school to high school. You need to be able to read at the level of the grade that you're in. We can no longer have our school system one of the last in terms of the states here in California. Are you taking questions? Are we taking questions now? Okay. Well, I think we're doing well under Mr. Trump right now, and I would ask that you help me help him by getting to the United States Senate. And I promise you, I won't change as soon as I get as soon as I take my oath of office. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next candidate who would like a moment of your time is Burton Brink, and he's running for State Assembly for the 49th District. Burton Brink is a retired sergeant from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. As a longtime resident of the district, he's running to put criminals back behind bars, cut taxes, and make us safe in our communities.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Burton Brink, and I am a retired sergeant with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of Sacramento letting people out of jail.
Yeah.
I'm making us more.
Yes.
Over and over again. I am a Second Amendment, pro-Second Amendment. I am a lifetime member of the NRA.
All right.
I'm against sanctuary states, and what everybody is doing in Sacramento is
yes.
Basically committing a crime. It's time for us to take our state back. It's very, very important that we all get out there and vote. We talk to our people, our neighbors, our friends, and don't let the media take control of you. Don't let them tell you it's not worth your vote. Got to get out there and vote for your candidate, whoever it is. Of course, I'm hoping it's me. I'm in the 49th district up in the San Gabriel Valley. Most of you might be down here, but you might know somebody who lives up in the San Gabriel Valley. We must get out there and vote for this, for us, for the Republicans, for the citizens of our state.
Yes.
Not the illegal aliens, not the higher taxes, not the bullet train, but for us, the citizens of the United States and California.
Yay!
I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of having career criminals going out over and over and over again committing crimes. They're committing crimes against you, your businesses, which of course is costing you more money when you are spending it at these businesses. What happens when a criminal is going spending stealing $950 worth of stuff from the store? What's going to happen to them? Nothing. They're going to get a ticket. They're lucky they're going to do a day in jail if they're convicted.
Yeah.
A day in jail for a 1-year sentence. Does that make sense to you at all?
No.
Okay, again, we've got to pay attention to what's going on out there in the voting things and what the propositions are coming down from Sacramento. You've got an attorney general up there right now who was appointed by Governor Brown. He has done nothing but let the criminals out of jail and making us more victims. Remember, these criminals will continue to do what they're doing. They are not having any consequences for their actions in any way, shape, or form. Does that make sense to you?
No.
Okay. This is one of the reasons I'm running. I'm running for the State Assembly against Ed Chow. Ed Chow voted for Proposition 47. He voted for Proposition 57. He voted for raising your gas tax. He voted for the bullet train. He's voted for sanctuary state.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Lock him
That's
up.
what I said.
Lock him up.
One of the reasons why I stepped up to run for State Assembly. I've run for office in my local area. I got 48% of the vote, just missed winning the city council election. I am a council or a commissioner there in the city of Arcadia, and I was going to run for office for city council, but districting prevented me from doing so. Not fair. In my city, we used to have open districts, right? So the entire city would vote for you. You would be able to run for an election every 2 years. That is what is the Sacramento Democrats are doing to us with these districtings in our small cities as well. They are trying to control everything that is going on in our communities. Sacramento needs to stay out of our communities, take care of the state, and take care of putting people back in jail. Our state prisoners are in our county jail system. Because of that, our county jail has now had to remove everybody out of the jail. Where are they? Most of them are homeless, and that is why we're having this homeless situation and more criminals out onto the street. It's time to fix our state. It's one of the reasons why I'm running for State Assembly, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
The next speaker tonight is Edwin Duterte. Edwin Duterte has been a real estate professional since 1989. As an entrepreneur in 2003, he founded an internet startup company. As a community leader, he founded the National Pay It Forward movement to help the Great Recession unemployed find work. Edwin is the immediate past president of the South Bay Republican Assembly and currently sits as a member on the Asian American Pacific Islander GOP Leadership Council based in Washington, D.C. His platform is to primarily improve STEM education for a stronger workforce and higher paying jobs, and he's running for U.S. State's Representative in the 43rd District.
I'm voting for Omar.
My name is Edwin Duterte, and one of the things that got me interested in running for office is I drove up and down the district, and I noticed one thing. In our district, we have high-tech companies. Well, have you ever wondered why in our district we have some of the lowest or some of the highest poverty rates and the lowest wages in the district, in the state? I come to change that. I want to go into Washington and concentrate on STEM education, and I want to get the private sector to invest in the educational system. Yes, thank you. I can do better than Maxine Waters.
Anybody could do better than her. Get rid of her.
We're going to win this on one thing, is we're going to have the most solid ground game in the district. To beat Maxine Waters, I'm going to need every one of you to come and support our campaign. I'm going to need for you guys to come to our events and help us knock on doors. So please go to my website. My website is Duterte for Congress. That's DUTERTE for Congress.com. And I would love for you guys to come out and knock on doors, because if we can knock on doors, we can win this race. Thank you guys. My name is Edward Duterte.
Omar. We support Omar. He actually raises money.
Is a candidate for Lieutenant Governor of California. David and his wife Debbie reside in Valley Village.
Guy doesn't even have $1,000 to his name.
As chairman for the Committee for Accountability and Good Government in Los Angeles, David is leading the challenge to the city of Los Angeles' commercial trash monopoly.
Yep, go David.
David led the battle to retain the cross on the original Los Angeles County seat.
Yes.
He was elected to the board of the North Hollywood Northeast, Sun Valley, and Glassell Park neighborhood councils. David served on the foundation board for the Los Angeles Mission College in Sylmar for 5 years, 1 year as the president. Here's David.
Yeah, David! David!
Thank you. And, Robert? Good evening, my name is David Hernandez, and I'm a candidate for Lieutenant Governor of California.
All right!
The entire state of California is the district. You know, and it's really gratifying to be here. When I received my honorable discharge from the United States Navy in 1971, I went to Valley College. Back then we called them junior colleges. And there is nothing junior about the community college system. And what I saw there, and I saw the opportunities that people were given, either coming from high schools or changing careers or single parents. When I was asked to volunteer on the foundation board at Mission College, I stepped right up, and for 5 years, I volunteered to raise money to change people's lives and offering them scholarships based on their work ethic. And I believe that it is the experience that each of us share as individuals that we bring to our daily lives that we also get to bring to the political arena. I'm from the San Fernando Valley. My wife, Debbie, who's here tonight, we've been together 30 years. Now, we live in the San Fernando Valley, which is a part of Los Angeles. We are residents of the state of California. But I'm a citizen of the United States of America.
Yes.
Because of that, I have opportunities and possibilities that I enjoy as an American citizen. And those inalienable rights I did not earn. It was just the fact that I was born here. Well, I did not earn those rights. I have a responsibility to ensure that those rights are here for you and your family and your grandchildren and your co-workers. This election is about many things, but make no mistake, this isn't just about filling potholes or getting the traffic to move. This is about ensuring that those values that we cherish, those values that we enjoy, are here for those who come after us. And those rights do not end at the California border.
Right.
So, as Lieutenant Governor of California, you have to ask yourself, what do you want? Or when you're looking at a choice for governor, remember, there are many people that woke up this morning that didn't plan on not being here today. We don't know what the future is going to hold. So I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you're looking for? Are you looking for another bureaucrat? Are you looking for someone with a lot of money? Or are you looking for an individual that is going to stand up against the odds and speak up and defend those inalienable rights that we all get to enjoy? There are many, many issues, many challenges. We all know what they are. But this isn't just about focusing on the challenges. This is about coming up with solutions that we can live with together in peace and harmony. And so when we put our head on our pillow at night, we know that we've done what we've been tasked to do in order to ensure that these freedoms are here long after we're gone. That's what this election is about. And so,
David Hernandez is a champion for citizens, not illegals. He has been one of the most vocal opponents of illegal immigration, so I want to correct that.
And I'm excited because they're excited. And what I remind people is that if you, and I see some of them here, voted for President Trump in November, you were one of 4.5 million Californians that voted for President Trump.
Yeah!
Now, I want to talk about the other candidate, Hillary. But the reality is that that's more votes than Jerry Brown got for governor. That's more votes than Gavin Newsom got for lieutenant governor. So when I'm speaking to the people in Riverside and San Bernardino and San Diego, and I'm reminding them 4.5 million individuals, and not just Republicans.
That's right.
Voted for an individual that stepped up and talked about those values. We are not going to fade away. So don't tell me a Republican cannot win a statewide race in the state of California.
Right. Jack Guerrero's here. Wow. Okay, interesting. Whoa. Well, this is interesting. Gosh. Now we have two people from Cudahy. Interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sacramento is broken, out of control, and addicted to excessive taxation and irresponsible spending. This reckless behavior by business-as-usual politicians at the trough is a threat to our liberty. The founders of our country would be ashamed of us for what we're putting up with. Now more than ever, we need to elect ethical and competent leaders who agree to defend the United States Constitution and comport themselves within its parameters. My name is Jack Guerrero. I'm a Republican candidate for California Treasurer. I understand the severity of the state's unfunded pension liability, which at nearly $500 billion threatens the long-term financial stability of the state. I shall expose this mismanagement by reckless politicians. I will safeguard state assets and advocate for policies that place citizens first, including lower taxes, smaller government, and a prosperous California economy. I bring to the table a unique combination of public and private sector experience as city council member, mayor, certified public accountant, bank vice president, treasury professional, auditor of municipalities and government agencies, investment banker, and merger and acquisitions advisor to Fortune 500 companies. Since 2013, I have served my constituents in the city of Cudahy as a council member and mayor, ushering in reforms, exposing deficiencies in the city's internal controls, and engaging the California Controller for a consequential forensic examination. As mayor, I did the unthinkable and held public hearings on the quality of education in local public schools, which led to reform of one school's administration.
All right. Yay.
I achieved this as the only Republican on the council and the only Republican elected official in a 5-city radius.
Yo.
Last year, I sought re-election to the city council and was viciously attacked by the local Democratic machine. I was called a Tea Party extremist, a conservative Republican with links to Donald Trump. Well, unhappily for those consultants, my constituents have more confidence in me, and I was re-elected as the top vote getter in that election cycle and the top vote getter in the history of my city.
All right. Yeah.
My town is 96% Latino and only 11% Republican. Let this be a testament to our ability as Republicans to win elections, even in deep blue communities, without having to compromise our values. Remember that we have the moral high ground on education reform, fiscal discipline, balanced budgets, and civil liberties. I am the son of hardworking Mexican immigrant parents. I was raised in a tough neighborhood surrounded by poverty and decrepit public schools. As a young boy during the presidency of Ronald Reagan, I became a Republican because I was determined to escape poverty and obtain a quality university education. I am a graduate of Stanford and Harvard University.
Wow!
In our country.
Ouch! All right.
In our country is my story even possible. I am forever grateful to this country for the educational opportunities conferred on me, and I am committed to expanding similar opportunities for others. You can learn more about my campaign at jackfortreasurer.com. Finally, to patriots in the audience and to honest people everywhere who are sick and tired of business as usual politicians and who are ready to reclaim this state and our country, don't start the revolution without me. My name is Jack Guerrero. God bless you and God bless the United States.
Yeah! He actually got some standing ovations there.
The next candidate for your attention is Roxanne Beckford-Hogue. She's running as candidate for a state assembly in the 46th district. Roxanne Beckford-Hogue was born on the island of Jamaica and came to LA to be a working actress over 25 years ago.
Some people are asking why comments are being deleted. I won't tolerate anti-Semitism, and if people are going to make vulgar remarks, I won't tolerate it. Please stick to the subject at hand.
Please welcome another candidate with common sense, Roxanne Beckford-Hogue.
Hey!
And welcome, you guys. You're getting ready to have a great evening and a great debate. Travis Allen and John Cox are here. I'm here actually to tell you two things. The first and most important is that you are not alone. If you think that America is an exceptional country and that California should once again be the greatest state in this wonderful country, you are not alone. If you think and believe in free speech, you're not alone. If you think that it is ridiculous that the Sacramento politicians are criminalizing plastic bags and plastic straws while letting people out of prison wholesale and then giving them hotel rooms in our
Oh! Lock them up.
There are more registered Republicans in any other county in the United States of America than Los Angeles County.
Yes.
Okay, there's more Democrats too, but the point is, there's lots of registered
They're dead or they're illegal.
Okay, Donald Trump got more votes in 2016 than Jerry Brown did. So don't let them tell you that you are alone. That's what they do in totalitarian states. Make you think that you're the only one that believes in freedom, the only one that has common sense. Well, you're not. You're not alone. The second thing I'm here to tell you is that politics is a team sport. It only works when we all get together and help each other across the finish line. And the fact is that I have a dream. I have a dream that in our top two system, John Cox and Travis Allen will both make it.
Yeah! I would love that.
Because they're the only ones who make sense for the state of California. I have 4 kids, one of whom is in college, and I'll be damned if he's going to come home and live back at my house. I want him to be able to afford to live somewhere in LA on his own and have a job. Yesterday, I read that Doug O.C. dropped out, and he said, quote, this is why I brought the paper, there's nobody willing to invest in a statewide Republican campaign to the level that needs to be done. Really?
He's wrong.
You're willing. I'm willing. Are you willing?
Yes!
For a better California. I'm here to tell you.
Make California great again.
USA.org, that's my website, or you can find me on Facebook at Roxanne Hogue for Assembly. But my favorite person shaking up things in California is Sabo. Do you know the street artist Sabo? He does those great all over the place.
Yeah.
As he says, Republican is the new punk.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. Speaker tonight before the main debate.
Please.
Is Dr. Ken Wright, candidate for United States Representative.
Yes. Against Lion Ted.
Dr. Wright is a pediatric high school
God.
who's devoted his career to the welfare of children. Ken trained at Johns Hopkins University and has achieved worldwide recognition, having authored over 100 scientific publications, including the major textbook in his field. Dr. Ken Rice is now running for U.S. Congress in District 33 to bring real citizen representation to Washington.
Please. Yeah!
It is true, I ended up my training at Johns Hopkins. But it might surprise you, guess where I started? Right here, El Camino College.
Wow!
So I want to do something I've never done before in this format. I want to do what we call right or wrong. So I'm playing on that. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So, right or wrong, my opponent, Ted Lieu.
Boo! Lion Ted.
My opponent, Ted Lieu, signed a petition.
He's a piece of.
To bring 200,000, at least 200,000 Syrian, Iraqi refugees in 1 year.
Whoa.
How do you vet them? In 1 year, and voted against the SAFE Act for background checks.
Wrong.
Right or wrong?
Wrong. Deport Lieu.
My opponent, Ted Lieu,
he's a traitor.
is for open borders.
Yo.
Anybody can come through, and we don't know who they are. He's for sanctuary cities, so illegal aliens, even if they're violent, can go into our communities. Right or wrong?
Wrong. Lock him up.
He disrespects our president.
Yes.
And calls our great vice president a lapdog, bow wow. What kind of dog do you think he is on Twitter? So disrespectful.
Yep.
And probably the worst thing is I happened to be in Washington, D.C. at the time at a medical conference. He walks out of the silent prayer for those who were murdered in the church in Texas.
Awful.
He stands up, he's the only one, and walks out.
Yep.
If you want to talk gun control, we can argue that. You don't do that. You don't walk out of silent
No.
prayer. So when I saw this record, I had to run. I mean, it's not just because Obamacare pays so little to physicians. I need another So right or wrong, keep America strong, strength through, peace through strength.
Right.
Secure our borders, even build the wall where necessary.
Right.
Repeal Obamacare.
Right.
And let's give real choice to the citizens with affordable care through competition and the private sector.
Right.
And lastly, and I think very importantly, and I think everybody here are patriots taking your time to be here for this debate. Very importantly, we love America and the freedom America gives us.
Right.
Now, I ran in 2016 because no one was going to run in this district.
Against Lion Ted.
So I gave money to the homeless veterans, and they put me at the VIP table with Republicans. And I didn't even know who our congressman was. And they said, no one's going to run against Ted Lieu. I said, well, he must be a good guy. No one's running. No.
Oh.
And can you find some dumb stiff to run? And guess who they said? Said, why don't you run? So we ran. Guess what? 24% Republicans in the district. We got 34%. He had $2 million. I had 75,000. This time, we're loaded for bear.
Yes!
We have an organization. We already have over $80,000 in the bank, and we just started. So I think we can make a difference and do a huge upset, which is going to rock this country. Because they think, the Democrats think, they've got it locked. We have 30% NPPers, 25%, 24% Republicans. If people show up and support our Republican candidates, we can turn it red. Thank you very much.
Yeah! Get rid of Lion Ted.
So this part of the evening is over, and now the main event.
Yes.
I want to introduce to you your host for this evening's debate. It is the articulate and charming host of the Morning Answer on AM 870, Jennifer Horn.
All right. No. How about a microphone?
Welcome, everybody. Are you guys having fun?
Yeah.
Are we ready to
We want a
have a big
debate.
grudge match?
Yes.
There will be mud wrestling tonight, I promise.
Will there be blood?
Thank you for coming out today. It is such a pleasure to host tonight's event. Of course, this is the 2018 Republican Gubernatorial debate presented by the California Republican Assembly. Let's give them a round of applause. And of course, the El Camino Speech and Debate Club.
All right. Our future.
Now, is everybody ready to meet the candidates?
Yes.
They're raring to go backstage. They're very excited to be here.
Let's go.
We're excited to have them, and I think we're going to have some fun tonight. So, starting off first is John Cox. John Cox is a successful small businessman. He's born and raised in Chicago, but I just heard him saying that he loves California. I heard him. He said he's not leaving. Loves it. He was raised by his mother, a public school teacher, who greatly influenced his perspective on politics. He currently resides with his family in the San Diego County community of Rancho Santa Fe. Any of you from Rancho Santa Fe?
Somebody's over there.
No.
San Diego County.
John
I
is
saw
a
someone over there.
Jack-style Republican, self-described, and also the author of the Neighborhood Legislature Initiative. He founded an affiliate of Rebuilding Together, a nationwide organization that repairs the homes of low-income seniors and disabled persons. He currently sits on the board of the USO of San Diego. John is also a member of the Lincoln Club of San Diego and the New Majority in San Diego. He's father of 4 daughters, and his wife
Not good.
Sarah are
Not
active
good.
and attend Nativity Catholic Church.
New majority are
Everybody put your
liberal.
hands together for John Cox.
Not good. Boo! Afuera. New majority.
All right, now up next is Assemblyman Travis Allen. He was first elected to the State Assembly in November of 2012. He represents the 72nd Assembly District. Any constituents of Travis Allen? All right. He likes Trump. Okay.
There you go.
As a state assemblyman, Travis Allen has fought for lower taxes, safer communities, better roads, and better schools. For over 20 years, Travis Allen has operated his own small business as a certified financial planner. Assemblyman Allen concentrated on investing and building secure retirements for working families. And of course, he is active in the Christian and Jewish communities and is a strong supporter of a number of pro-Israel charities.
Yes.
Travis is a longtime resident of Huntington Beach, where he has lived and served for over 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Assemblyman Travis Allen.
Yeah! All right.
All right, so now that the candidates are out, it's time to meet our panelists. These guys are responsible for almost all the questions you'll hear tonight, so give them a loud round of applause. Our first panelist is Stephen Greenhut. He is Sacramento-based. He's visiting us here in Southern California. The Western Region Director for the R Street Institute. That's a free market think tank. He writes weekly for the Orange County Register, American Spectator, and Reason Magazine. He formerly was a California columnist for the San Diego Union Tribune. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Greenhut.
Hey, Steve.
Susan Shelley is a columnist and member of the editorial board of the Southern California News Group, which are 11 daily newspapers, including the Orange County Register, the LA Daily News, and the Torrance Daily Breeze. She's president of Valley Vote, a nonpartisan civic organization in the San Fernando Valley, and vice president of communications for the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. Everybody welcome Susan Shelley.
Hi, Susan. She ran for office too.
Now tonight's event is presented in part by the El Camino Speech and Debate Club. We will be joined on stage tonight by 3 members of the team who will also get to question the candidates. Please welcome Rachel Lobo, John Massey, and Club President Victoria Marshall.
Raise your hand so we know who you are.
All right, so who's ready for the rules? It's going to be a little different. We're going to have a little bit of fun. First, before the evening got started, just backstage,
This is so
we did
cool.
a coin toss.
This is so cool. Here in Torrance, in my city, right here.
And John Cox won both times. He chose to let Travis Allen go first for the opening statement,
Aww.
and he will also go first for the closing statement tonight. Now, each candidate will have 1 minute for the opening statement, and the goal of our debate tonight, we want to have lots of fun. We want to ask lots of questions.
Yes.
We want to get a lot of information from both candidates, and to make sure we do this, each candidate will have only 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer each question. There are going to be no formal rebuttals. Only I can allow for the rebuttals, and I can call on them at any time. I get to go rogue. I can ask questions, I can call for rebuttals. It's kind of exciting. Love it.
What about us?
Now, each candidate will be given a lifeline. It's sort of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, perhaps? So I'm going to give each candidate 2 rebuttal cards. So at any time, if they want to do a rebuttal, they can hold up their card. 2 for you.
Start now.
2 for you.
Thank you.
AM 590, I love it.
Can I have one?
That's right, a little plug. If you guys get a chance to listen, I do host Morning Answer with Brian Whitman on AM 870.
Yay!
And I host an evening show, the Jen and Dawn Show on AM 590 The Answer in the Inland Empire. So thank you all for listening. Appreciate that. All right, the candidates will have 2
Folks, this is live. Very much live. Please.
And, that's basically it. We've got
Really?
rebuttal
It is
cards.
live.
We're ready
Yes.
to go.
There's a little live thing right there in the corner.
Candidates, keep an eye on the clock. I do have an electric cattle prod to keep you all on schedule.
Use it.
And let's get started. All right, with our first question, El Camino College student Rachel Lobo. Oh,
Oh, you're going rogue there, lady. Oh.
am I totally fired? I've been up since 3 a.m.
Oh, jeez.
Start Travis Allen with your opening statement.
Thank you very much. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah!
Here, voted for, supported our Republican nominee for president, Donald J. Trump.
Yay! Right here, baby. Notice John did.
Candidate in the governor's race that voted for, supported, even wrote op-eds in favor of the Republican nominee for president, because I believe that it is incumbent upon the next governor of the state of California to put their money where their mouth is and support the values of common sense that we all believe in. Do you agree?
Yeah!
Born and raised in California, I've had to watch my entire family's left. My parents live in Oregon, my brother lives in Arizona, my best friend's out in Texas. The problem is, California used to be the greatest state in the nation, but thanks to 39 of the last 40 years of the California Democrats running the legislature and 24 of the last 50 years of the Jerry Brown family running California, California now ranks among the very worst in the nation.
Yep.
We have the highest poverty rate, the highest homelessness population. California used to have the best schools, now they're among the worst. We used to have the best roads, we have the second worst roads with the worst traffic in the country.
Don't I know
in our
it?
schools, you all know that story there. So the bottom line is this, I have a very simple 5-point plan to change California, take our state back. Number 1, we need to cut taxes in California, starting with the repeal of gas tax. 2, get tough on crime so California is safe again. 3, fix our roads and expand our freeways without an additional dime of taxpayer dollars. 4, make our education system the best in the nation. Once again, and 5, complete the California State Water Project. And oh yes, in the first 100 days in office, I will reverse the illegal sanctuary state.
Yeah! Yeah! And deport Ted Lieu.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here. Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Susan and Steve, for being here. I'm a long-time conservative activist. I go back a long way. I was on the presidential steering committee for Jack Kemp, who was a Los Angeles guy. And Jack Kemp was the architect of the Reagan Revolution. That changed the world, ladies and gentlemen. Conservative ideas work. I'm a conservative from the word go, and I am very happy Donald Trump is now president and is acting in a really conservative manner.
Why didn't you vote for him?
But you know what? I'm a businessman. I started my first business when I was 24 years old. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, anybody can stand up here and thrill you with rhetoric. It's action that matters. It's results that matters. It's what you do that matters. I was on Jack Kemp's presidential committee. I was Newt Gingrich's finance chair in 2012. I stepped in and led the recall of Bob Filner from San Diego.
Filthy Filner.
I stepped in and led the effort on Prop 32 to get union money out of elections in California. I'm telling you that we have to turn this state around, but we're not going to do it with a lot of rhetoric. I'm a businessman. I'm not a politician. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you want to hear so you cheer and yell. I'm going to show you the way to turn the state around. We need to make this state affordable. The middle class is being driven into the lower class. Small businesses, I'm a small businessman. Small business is being crushed in this state. We need to do something about it. We need to elect a governor who has actually done things in the private sector, who has built a business. And I appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Our first question, pretend you're surprised, is from Rachel Lobo.
Coming off of the 8 school shooting this year alone,
Ouch.
it's clear that current gun legislation needs reconsideration.
No, it doesn't.
In an era in which the presidential administration proposes only thoughts and prayers, how do you propose to make California schools
Oh, great. We got a liberal board. Nothing.
We'll start with you, Assemblyman.
Thank you very much. When we talk about a record of action, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, I've represented you for the last 6 years in the California legislature. There is a reason I have an A rating from the NRA.
There you go.
An A+ rating from the Firearm Policy Coalition.
Yes.
It's because your Second Amendment is not a privilege, it is a right. Let me tell you, the real problem that happened in Florida is very simple. The deputies in Florida went to this troubled young boy's house 39 separate times.
That's right.
The problem in Florida was the FBI was notified and they did
Nothing.
The problem was there was a deputy who did
Nothing.
Very simply, this was a failure in Florida. We cannot have failures like this in California. California has among the quote-unquote strongest gun control legislation in the country. But this didn't stop San Bernardino shooters, did it?
Nope.
What we need in California is a governor that understands that personal responsibility and personal safety go hand in hand. If we have people that are unstable, if we have people that are putting out messages on social media saying they want to go shoot their schools, this is when our law enforcement needs to intervene, and your next governor needs to stand behind our law enforcement and back them up and make our schools safe again.
Get rid of the gun-free zones. That's pretty.
I'm a life member of the NRA. I have a long record of supporting the NRA, absolutely, and I can't actually to no one on supporting the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is the one that guarantees all the other amendments, as far as I'm concerned. And you can look at that. Look at that too. You look at Cuba, Venezuela, and all other places around the world where they don't have that right. But you know, we also have to solve the problem. And I heard about this school shooting. I have 4 daughters, including a 12-year-old who turns 13 tomorrow, by the way. And I got on the phone immediately to my communications director, and I issued a press release, and I asked the media to not publicize the names and the pictures of these monsters. That's leadership. We need to take action. There is no reason that these people should get their last moments of infamy. It's just what they want. They're mentally ill to begin with, And what we ought to have is an agreement among the media not to report their name or their picture and make them famous and give them the infamy that they're seeking with these kinds of actions.
Thank you, John. Our follow-up to that question is our panelist, Stephen Greenhut.
Yeah, I wanted to...
Turn it on.
Do you have a microphone for Stephen?
Okay, testing.
There we go.
Okay, I wanted to focus on gun control policy in the state itself. So we know California Democrats continually propose more gun restrictions. But even California Republicans supported what's called the Armed Prohibited Person System, and they chided former Attorney General Kamala Harris for not being aggressive enough in confiscating weapons. And I wanted you to address that particular system and whether you think it's working, what needs to be done. By some reports, as many as 60% of the names on the list of people who are having their guns taken away don't belong on the list. So the ACT system, what do you think of that, and how could that help address some of the gun issues in the state?
Let's start with you, John.
Well, you know, listen, we can get more laws and more laws. I mean, Gavin Newsom put in a ammunition limit. Only the law-abiding people believe in complying with the law. Criminals don't care about that. And I'm against any action to take away weapons from law-abiding citizens. This is a right in the Constitution for a reason, and any effort that any of the Democrats make is all a smokescreen. You know, all they are is talk. All they are is bluster. All they are is bloviating. All they want to do is make it look like they're doing something. What we ought to do is make sure we enforce the law and keep criminals in jail.
Let's start with the legislature.
Travis?
So, when we talk about a record of action, it's important to actually look at what the real action is. Just last month, as your California State Assemblyman, I introduced legislation to make California a shall-issue CCW state.
Yes! How about constitutional carry?
This means that if you're a California citizen and you don't have a criminal background and you pass the requisite training and background checks, you shall be issued the ability, a CCW, the ability to protect yourself whether you're at home or walking down any street in the state of California. This is your right in California. Of course, every single Democrat voted against this bill, and unfortunately went nowhere. This is the problem in California. As opposed to making us more safe, the Democrats have made us less safe. To give you one very quick example, Proposition 57, just 2 weeks ago, a judge ordered that 10,000 sex offenders will be released into California communities early from prison. Think about this for a moment. You take a look at criminals getting out of jail early, and the California Democrats, led by Gavin Newsom and Jerry Brown, taking away your ability to protect yourself and your loved ones, and even your children when they are in California public schools. This is a recipe for disaster. It is a perfect storm of calamity that has been created by the Democrats. It's about time we have a governor that stands up for our rights as American citizens and our rights to protect ourselves, whether we're at school, whether we're walking down the street, any street in California, day or night.
Got to call time. Student panelists, President Victoria Marshall. She's the president of the El Camino Speech and Debate Club.
In October of 2017, the California legislature passed SS 54, or the Sanctuary State Bill. This bill prohibits state and local law enforcement agencies, including school police and security departments, from using resources to detain or arrest people for immigration enforcement purposes. This past January, the California Attorney General, citing SB 54, threatened to fine businesses that share employee information with immigration agents. As president, Trump has threatened to withhold federal funding from sanctuary states. How would you, as Republican governor, respond to the competing agendas of the state of California and that of the U.S. federal government?
We'll start with you, Assemblyman.
Let me state clearly, Jerry Brown's Sanctuary state is illegal, and in my first...
Yes! Get rid of it! Lock up Becerra.
California will follow federal immigration law. And as for Libby Schaper, the mayor of Oakland, and as for Gavin Newsom, who are aiding and abetting criminals in California...
Yes!
We got news for you. You are breaking federal immigration law. Just 2 weeks ago, I called out Javier Becerra for his threat, direct threat, from the top law enforcement officer in California, the Attorney General, to prosecute California business owners if they comply with federal immigration law and federal immigration authorities doing their constitutional duty. This is criminal obstruction of justice.
Yes.
On Tucker Carlson, you might have seen it. I called for the arrest and prosecution of Javier Becerra.
Yeah! Lock him up!
Let's be very clear. The sanctuary state concept is people who have come here illegally, that are committing crimes while they are here, and now they are being sheltered with your taxpayer dollars. I'm just going to tell you one story. Kate Stein was a beautiful young girl. She was walking out a pier in San Francisco on a beautiful sunny day with her father. She was shot in the back by someone who had been deported five times and was a 7-time felon. This person should never have been in California. Kate Steinle would be alive today if it was not for Gavin Newsom and the California Democrat Party and their illegal sanctuary state. We must reverse it for the safety of all Californians.
Yeah!
There's no question that the sanctuary state law is unconstitutional, is wrong, and I, as well, will get rid of that on my first day in office.
Pull it out. Get rid of it.
You know what? We have to talk to the people about why that is. You know, I mean, I said on Stuart Barney's show the other day, I said, Jerry Brown has morphed into George Wallace. Think about that a second. George Wallace stood at the schoolhouse steps in Alabama and said he wasn't going to obey federal law. That's exactly what Jerry Brown and Gavin Newsom are doing. You know, the thing that separates the United States from all the other countries of the world that aren't successful is the fact that we are ruled by the law, not by men.
Yes.
That's very important, ladies and gentlemen, because we want to make sure that we have the equal protection of the law. And today, just today, ICE officers went into Oakland and arrested 150 people who were there.
Yeah! Round them up, deport them all.
These weren't kids studying in school. These were criminals.
Yes.
These were people threatening our lives. Half of them had been convicted of crimes. The other half were members of criminal gangs. That's why we have to do this. The first role of government is to protect the people. And as your governor, I will make that my #1 objective.
Yes.
Follow to that, our panelist, Susan Shelley.
Well, President Trump campaigned on a promise to build a wall on the southern border. As governor, will you cooperate with the effort to build a wall?
Damn right you better.
Or will you resist it?
Oh my God.
I live in San Diego. I want that wall there.
Yeah!
I have friends in Tucson. I have talked to people who live on the border in Tucson as well, and they tell me about the drugs and the guns. You know what? We have a 3,000-mile, virtually unprotected border with Canada. Do we have a problem there?
No.
Not much.
No.
And that's because Mexico is a corrupt state.
Yes.
Run by corrupt politicians.
Yes.
Just like the ones in Sacramento.
Yes. Most of them are from Mexico.
We have got to do what we can to solve their problems. I'm gonna make a plea to the Latinos in this state. They left Mexico, they left Honduras, Nicaragua, Colombia. They fled a corrupt government that couldn't protect them to come to this country. Many illegally, which is wrong, and they should go back. But they should not be giving their vote to corrupt politicians in Sacramento. And that's the plea that I'm going to make to the people of this state.
let me tell you, I didn't become a California resident in 2011. You see, I was born
Yes.
in the state of California. How many California-born people do we have here today?
And I'm not leaving.
How many California citizens do we have here today? Who here came in the front door, or your family or your ancestors came in the front door the right way, legally into our country? We must secure our borders. You see, I was born in San Diego, but I was raised in Chula Vista, 5 minutes from the border. I know exactly what I'm talking about because I've seen it firsthand. I've also seen the corrupt California legislature run by the California Democrats, and they will try everything they can to stop us from securing our border. They will have the extreme environmentalists on their side. They're going to try to fight it in court. What California needs is a governor that understands, respects, and is willing to enforce federal immigration law. What we need
Build the wall.
is a governor that understands in order to secure our border, you will have to fight the Democrats in the legislature. You have to fight them in the courts. And we will make sure that for the safety of every single Californian, we have secure borders so we know who's coming in our country. The good people that have done it the right way, we got a place for them. But let me tell you, if you're trying to sneak over that border, if you want to come in illegally, you're going to get a one-way ticket and you're not coming back. We will enforce federal immigration law.
Yeah!
One last point, which is this. It doesn't matter whether your family's here first generation or your family's been here for many generations. Every single California citizen is here because we are a nation of laws. We're founding on the Constitution. They are here because this is the greatest country in the world. We will ensure that we have laws, and we will ensure that we have a secure border.
Yeah!
California is the homeless problem, and with the question on that is our panelist, Stephen Greenhead.
Yeah, how would you deal with the growing problem of homelessness? Everyone seems to agree that it is growing.
Yes.
What are the key causes, and what are the best solutions from a state perspective? And please be specific.
Okay, so homelessness is a terrible problem in California. Actually, nationwide, homelessness has been flat to decreasing. In California last year, it was up by 13.7%. Think about this. In Gavin Newsom City of San Francisco, there are so many homeless on the streets now, and they're using drugs, and there's actually maps of human waste in the city of San Francisco. 22,000 intravenous drug users. It's actually gotten so bad that the city wants to have 2 heroin injection centers in the city of San Francisco. I will tell you, it's about time we clean up San Diego, Los Angeles, and California. These people do not belong on our streets. They belong in state institutions where they can get the help that they need.
There you go. And the illegals got to go.
In the coastal cities of Los Angeles, homelessness was up by 23% last year alone. It is a crime that we're allowing people to be on our streets. These people need our help. They need our care. They need to get back on their feet. This is the proper role of government, and that's what we need to do. We need to reinstitute state mental institutions. But we have to do it cleanly, we have to do it safely and effectively with accountability and monitoring systems in place. We're not warehousing people, we will rehabilitate these people because they do not belong sleeping on our sidewalks, in our bridges, and off our freeways. And I will tell you one last thing. As a California citizen, it is your right to walk down every single street of any city in the state of California and not have to watch out for maps of human waste and hypodermic needles on your sidewalk or to walk over people that are homeless. It's about time we clean up the streets of California. What do you say?
Yeah! Get rid of Nowie. He's a homeless bum.
Let's talk about what causes this problem. Number 1, housing. Housing costs are outrageous here. I can build apartments in Indiana for $80,000 a door. In San Diego, it's $500,000 a door.
Damn.
2-bedroom apartment, 1-bedroom apartment costs $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in San Diego. There are people who have been kicked out of their homes basically by rent increases that keep going up. I have a plan to build 350,000 homes a year, bring down the cost so the housing is affordable. That's one part of it.
Damn.
The second part is mental illness. We've got to open up more opportunities for people. There's an organization, and it can't be government. It's got to be a private public partnership. There's an organization called Solutions for Change that I support in San Diego, and it applies a holistic support network to people who are addicted to substances and need help to get free of that and do a good job. The other thing is the prisoners. A good number of these people on the streets today were people who were let out of prison because they reclassified felonies as misdemeanors, which was absolutely wrong. They offloaded this problem on the counties and the cities, and they end up on the street. And you know why? It circles back to the main issue I'm running on, and that is the corruption and cronyism in Sacramento.
Oh.
The prisons cost $75,000 a year to house a prisoner. That's versus $23,000 in Nevada, $16,000 in Alabama. That's why they're letting those criminals out on the street. We have to get rid of the corruption and cronyism in Sacramento so that we can keep people in jail and it doesn't cost us an arm and a leg.
And time.
Poverty rate in the nation when measured by the Census Bureau's supplemental poverty measure. Why do you think this has happened? And what would you do about it?
It's all about corruption and cronyism. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to work day and night to reform this legislature. I am going to work day and night to get rid of the corruption of the public sector unions, the trial lawyers, and the big businesses that run Sacramento. And that is why we have the biggest poverty rate, because the cost of housing has been driven up by CEQA, the California Environmental Quality Act, which is used by unions to extort higher wages from developers.
Yep.
I have called for the reform and replacement of that law. It's driven up by the gasoline tax. I am the chairman of the statewide effort to repeal the gasoline tax. Amendment to repeal the tax, not just a statutory amendment. This was a constitutional amendment so that they can't institute a tax without a vote of the people.
Yes. Thank you. Isn't that what Jerry Brown promised?
I have been traveling around doing rallies to do that. We also have to reform water costs, electricity. You know, we're paying Arizona to take excess electricity.
What?
How's that for brilliance from our politicians? I'm a businessman. I solve problems. That's what people want in this state. They want the problem solved. The way to bring down the poverty rate is more supply of houses, better management. That's what I'm going to do as the governor of this state.
California has the highest poverty rate in the entire nation. 1 of 5 Californians lives below the poverty line. There's only one reason for this, ladies and gentlemen. 39 of the last 40 years, the California Democrat Party has run the state legislature. And I will tell you right now, it's about time we change that. It's about time we take back our state. California is among the highest taxes in the nation. Jerry Brown lied when he said he was not going to raise taxes without a vote of the people in 2010. That's why I'm the original author of the repeal of the gas tax. Thank you. California has the highest sales tax. We have the highest personal income tax, and our gas tax and corporate tax are among the highest in the nation. In addition, our regulations are out of control with these unelected bureaucracies and state agencies. 243,000 Californians have left on balance over the last 7 years, taking over $8 billion with them. Jerry Brown has presided over all of this. Quick show of hands. Who knows anyone who's left the state of California? Who here has ever thought about leaving yourself?
Never.
Right? It's about time
Never.
to cut taxes in California, get rid of all these bureaucrats and state agencies, which I will do as your next governor of the state of California, and hang a big bright sign, a neon sign, over the California Capitol. You know what it's going to say?
Open for business.
Open for business.
Yay! Cast out the demons.
Thank you both. With our next question, Stephen Greenhut.
Last year, the California Senate voted for a single-payer health care, even after their own analysis showed that it would consume more than the entire budget.
Yeah. Bunch of morons.
If Gavin Newsom wins the governor's race,
oh, God.
we're likely to see a big push for single-payer health care.
No.
And that's become something that you have to support as a Democrat.
Yeah.
So what would single-payer do to California, and what is your plan for health care?
So very simple, single payer Yeah, thank you. In California, the single-payer healthcare system would bankrupt our state in the first 6 months alone.
Yep.
Gavin Newsom wants to take your doctor away from you because remember, Obamacare wasn't enough for Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is to the left of Bernie Sanders. I will tell you right now.
No commies.
The California Democrat
Lock him up.
has left the average California Democrat far behind. Raise your hand if you know Democrat. Right? We all do. Come on, raise your hands. We all know a Democrat. This
Unfortunately.
so fun. They're your family, right?
Some of them hide it now.
The problem is they don't agree with these out-of-control policies of the California Democrats. Single-payer health care will bankrupt the state in the first 6 months. Essentially, it will mean that you lose your doctor, you will have to go to the DMV or its equivalent to see your doctor. And by the way, if state-run health care was such a great idea, why don't we just put the VA in charge? Right? The answer in California is not more government intervention, it is less. It is opening up our insurance market to out-of-state insurance companies to compete for our business. Premiums will go down, coverage will go up. More Californians will have more coverage at lower price points, and you better believe they will actually be able to use their health care and see doctors, whether you're in a city, in the high desert, in a rural area, or in the north state of California. Californians will be taken care of by the private market by getting the government out of our business. And by the way, we are going to repeal and replace.
Yeah!
Let me tell you, Gavin Newsom, who has made single payer his #1 issue, makes Jerry Brown look like Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Raise your hands if you've never given money to Gavin Newsom. Notice my opponent did.
Cheap shot. You gave it to George Soros. Boo. Me. I've never given money to George Soros. Never.
We need to get the private sector involved. I'm a businessman. I wake up every single day pleasing my investors and my clients. And why? Because I'm in competition. I believe in competition. The way to fix healthcare is to inject more competition into the system. That's why I favor health savings accounts. I favor selling insurance across state lines.
John Cox is from Chicago. Of course he's going to do dirty stuff.
That was not owned by the cronies, the special interests, which we will when we do the neighborhood legislature. We will have a legislature, and we will have a truly competitive insurance and healthcare market. The only way to destroy the healthcare in this state is to turn it over to the government and make it single payer. That will never happen as long as I'm governor.
Rebuttal. Yeah.
All right, our first candidate wants to cash in a rebuttal card. Assemblyman Travis Allen.
So, you know, this was brought up by John Cox, and who here is on Facebook following me at Join Travis Allen? Thank you so much. Raise your hand if you're going to follow me at Join Travis Allen on Facebook. Over 430,000 followers. The week before last reached 4.5 million, more than any other politician in the entire state of California. Listen, in 2010 and 2011, I'm a business owner. I've been in business since 2001. I still run my company every single day. A couple of clients and friends said, hey, you got to come down to these political events and listen to these guys talk. So you know what? I purchased tickets to some events from some Democrats. Matter of public record. And you know what happened? When I went to these events, all of a sudden the light bulb went on. And it occurred to me, this is why my parents have left the state, my brothers left the state, and my best friends in Texas. This is why my clients who all started out in California now live in 22 different states around the nation. And that is what galvanized me to run as a conservative and become your next state assemblyman, which as I have been and represented you since 2011, a 100% vote record on every issue you care about, 100% against fighting every tax increase, A rating and A+ rating from all the NRA and Firearms Policy Coalition, 0% from Planned Parenthood.
Yes. Yep. That's right.
The bottom line is I am the conservative voice in Sacramento. You don't have to listen to rhetoric because you see that the candidate standing next to me, John Cox, in 2016, when he was already a candidate 3 times and failed, gave money to Mayday PAC. This was associated with George Soros. He gave
Whoa! George Soros.
Only $22.50 went to Republicans. $27.50 that 5 grand went to support 5 Democrats.
And who voted for Trump? Who voted for Trump?
All right, John Cox.
John Cox voted for Goofy Gary.
It just strains credulity to think that you don't know what Barbara Boxer stands for. But you know, I gave money to a PAC that was trying to get money out of politics to help collect signatures for the neighborhood legislature. And no idea that it was. I had no idea that it was funded by George Soros. Let me tell you,
Afuera.
in California, corruption
Sorry.
in Sacramento is killing this state. We have got to have an answer for the unions and the trial lawyers and the environmental extremists who are killing this state. It's all real good to shout Hosanna and have clapping and get all the cheers that you want, but we've got to be able to change this state. I don't want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't want to be Bruce Browner in Illinois. I want to get something done, and we need to reform the state and get money out of the state legislature.
Who voted for Gary Johnson, though?
I support the president.
But you didn't vote for him.
I supported the president. It's wrong to say
Be respectful, please.
Susan? Okay.
The people of California voted to legalize recreational marijuana. That is the vote of the people of California, not the legislature, but the people.
Potheads.
If the federal government were to crack down on California
We got a problem, though.
businesses operating legally under state law, as governor, would you back up the federal government's actions, or would you go to
Good question.
Washington and argue that the people of California have the right under the 10th Amendment to legalize marijuana if
Right.
they so choose?
Oh, that was such a loaded question, though.
Well, I believe the people of California do have the right to dictate their own uses, but I am not in favor of recreational use of marijuana. I'm in favor of medical use of marijuana. I believe it's a gateway drug.
Then why'd you vote for Gary?
I don't think we should increase that. I'm a father of 4 daughters. I don't want them to be on drugs, and I certainly don't want to increase the opportunity for usage. I'd like to see what we do. I'd like to see California do what Portugal has done, and that is people who abuse substances like that should be sentenced to hospitals. Having said that, I absolutely don't believe we should devote precious prosecutorial and police resources to going after people who are occasional recreational users.
You voted for Gary Johnson.
You know, I believe we should follow federal law.
Yeah, there's an idea.
The people of California voted for recreational marijuana. The problem is it is still illegal federally. And there is a constitution for a reason, right? There's a reason there's separation of federal powers and state powers.
True.
I'm against recreational marijuana, in case you couldn't tell. I can understand, I suppose, if someone has glaucoma or they're suffering from cancer and it helps their nausea, I think I can get past medical marijuana usage. But all you have to do is look at the state of Colorado, where they have the second highest teen usage rate of marijuana in the country after they legalized recreational marijuana. Gavin Newsom has called himself the poster boy for this. And I will remind you, his city of San Francisco now has 22,000 intravenous drug users shooting themselves up on the streets of San Francisco because the science and the statistics are clear that yes, it is a gateway drug. By the way, his Proposition 47 makes any drug use in California a slap on the wrist misdemeanor, and any theft of $9.50 or less is also a misdemeanor, which is why you're seeing a massive spike in drug use and petty crime.
Yes.
The bottom line is that the federal agents come in and they want to crack down on illegal drugs. We got federal law, and you better believe we're going to follow it.
Yeah! And lock up Becerra. Lock him up.
The Assembly brought up Proposition 47, and we just so happen to have a question about it. Stephen Greenhat.
Yeah, first I wanted to wave a white card and ask about the 10th Amendment, but that's out of my
No, you should.
Crime rates are at the lowest levels they've been in decades, even after a slight uptick in some communities. In fact, San Diego just reported the lowest crime rate in since the 1960s. Republicans have argued that Propositions 47 and 57, which reduce penalties for various crimes, have been leading to a crime wave. Do you believe that to be true, even in the light of the evidence suggesting otherwise? And how would you as governor deal with crime problems without ramping up spending and overcrowding our prisons again.
Okay, number one, those statistics are lying. Those statistics are wrong. Violent crime in California in the last 3 years, thanks to AB 109, Prop 47, and Prop 57, violent crime has spiked by over 15.4% across California. Jerry Brown and Gavin Newsom were responsible for these propositions. As your next governor, I will reverse AB 109. I will reverse 57, and I will reverse Proposition 47. The way we will do this is we're going to bypass the California State Legislature. We'll go directly to the people of California. We'll gather the signatures throughout the state of California, and we will put it back on the ballot. And we will run it as many times as we need to make our communities safe again. AB 109, early release of felons. Prop 57 and Prop 47 turns felonies into misdemeanors. This is why, just a week and a half ago, a California judge ordered that 10,000 sex offenders would be released early from prison.
Crime rates are lower because people aren't reporting them anymore. That's part of it.
Early from prison. Absolutely not.
Oh.
This is what the California Democrats have given us. Rising crime and less personal safety. We'll reverse these 3 soft on crime laws, and I will tell you right now, California is going to get tough on crime, and we are going to make California safe again.
Yeah!
I would question those statistics as well, because I've been reading a lot about break-ins. There's a surge in car break-ins.
Especially in Torrance.
And I think a lot of that is attributable to the fact that you've got a lot of homeless on the street who have been let out of prison early because of these propositions. And absolutely, we've got to reverse those propositions. We've got to get the people behind us in that effort, and I will certainly do that as the next governor. But again, we also have to make sure that we don't spend $75,000 a year housing prisoners. I mean, that was the genesis of all these propositions to reclassify felonies as misdemeanors. We've got to attack the problem of a runaway budget, which is really killing the affordability of the state and is leading to the high tax burden that we have that is endangering the ability for us to meet our needs and especially provide the safety of the communities. We also have a police problem in the state. We have a lot of policemen that are retiring in the mid-50s and they have to be replaced. Some communities are paying 2 and 3 and 4 police chiefs. We've got a situation where the inmates are running the asylum. The state workers have really total control of Sacramento. And it's killing the affordability of the state, but it's also killing the ability of municipalities and counties to be able to provide the necessary protection that we need for our communities. That has to be changed, and as your governor, I will lead that effort. Thank you.
The governor's desk are frequently the ones that don't have an easy answer or that have compelling arguments on both sides. I wonder if you can tell us the most difficult decision you've ever had to make in business, in politics, in your personal life. How did you approach it? How did you decide? What did you decide? How did it work out?
It's the best question so far, right?
Okay.
Go ahead, John. That came out of left field. I mean, in a 40-year business career, there's a lot of things that I've done, and a lot of issues that have happened in my personal life as well. That's a tough one. I would have to say, my first marriage fell apart, and I had to make a decision for the health of my first wife as well as for my children to lead that. That was a tough decision. I had to put them first in that decision making. That was a very, very tough decision because it impacted a lot of people that I love. But I knew it was the best thing for her and the best thing for my children. And 20 years later, we're good friends, and the kids are all successful. I looked to the long term in making that decision, and I put my own needs behind theirs, and I'm really happy that I did that.
It's a tough one.
In 2012, I was living in Huntington Beach, Surf City, USA. My business was going great. I was traveling the world and having a great time. I was actually been helping out some politicians. I helped out Rick Perry until he couldn't remember all the names of the government agencies he wanted to get rid of. I didn't hold that against him. Then I did 25 stops around the country with Mitt Romney. But I realized that Mitt might not win, especially if he forgot to bring up the word Benghazi in the second debate against Obama. And even if he did win, it might not carry over to California. So you asked me about the toughest decision I was making. In 2012, I made the decision to step up. I made the decision that I would take on California Democrats because somebody had to fight them and someone had to win. When I ran, I was an underdog. I was not supposed to win. I was outspent by my opponent 3-1. Lately, I've been outspent by my opponent about 20-1. I lead in every single major poll across the state. I beat my opponent, another Republican, so badly that he has never successfully run for public office again. My other opponents might not either. But the point is for the last 6 years, I have given up my personal time. I have given up many hours that I could have worked and expanded my business. I have given up enjoyment in the great state of California in service to the people of California. Because you see, I believe in this state. I believe that this was once the greatest state in the nation, and it will be again. But it only will be again if the good people of California stand up and are counted and fight, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, win. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take back California.
We can't go through a gubernatorial debate without a little Trump talk. Everybody ready?
Yes.
With our next question, Stephen Greenhut.
I think we figured out where you guys stand on the Trump administration, but yes, that's right. But yes, we have. We heard that. But what I want to get at is your view on states' rights, and it touches on the Trump administration.
The 10th Amendment.
California is dealing with it. So our state has set itself up as the resistance to the Trump administration. They filed, the Attorney General has filed something like 22 lawsuits fighting the Trump administration.
Waste of money.
So I think I'm pretty well guessing that you're not going to continue that policy. But I do want to get at your views on states' rights. And do you just defer to the federal government on all issues? Or do states have a right or a legitimate role? Traditionally, conservatives believe that was one of the foundations of conservatism. Was standing up for the 10th Amendment. And in fact, in other states, the federal government's far more liberal than the state governments, and they have to resist. So how would you deal with that issue, the Trump resistance, and put that in the context of states' rights?
Well, let's make it clear. Hold on. I think I'm going first.
It's Travis, yeah.
Thanks so much.
Whoa.
So, who was with me in November of 2016 supporting, voting for our Republican nominee for President, Donald J. Trump?
Yeah! Oh, poor John.
I can tell you, it wasn't just the United States that changed that night. It was the world, and it changed for the better. Every single American is now better off, enjoying more freedom, enjoying more economic prosperity. We have seen the biggest economic boom that this country has experienced in decades. All I want is for that to come to California. So,
John's not too happy.
You asked the question, you know, this is the same question Jorge Ramos tried to ask me in the Univision debate. Where do I differ from President Trump, right? Or do you stand with California or with President Trump?
I know.
I will tell you, I stand for both of them. As long as we have a president who respects and understands the U.S. Constitution and is willing to stand up, believe in American exceptionalism, and fight for our rights as United States citizens, and yes, California citizens, he will get our full support. And I will tell you another thing. California has 39 million residents. Yes, they're not all Republican. 41% Democrat, 26% Republican. The rest decline to state. But I will tell you, it is incumbent upon the next governor of the state of California to have the very best relationship possible with the White House for the benefit of every single one of the 39 million Californians. It is a point of pride to stand with one of the greatest presidents we have seen in decades. This greatest economic miracle that we have seen in the last year, with over $8 trillion of wealth created, with Home Depot bringing thousands of dollars to their employees, and Apple bringing $358 billion and 30,000 more jobs. My one desire is to bring that to California.
Please.
Let's get our state working again. Let's fix our poverty and our homelessness by finding jobs. You better believe it. It's time.
Get the cattle prod. Okay. Oh, poor.
Yeah, the question's about the 10th Amendment. Let's make that clear.
Okay,
let's
this is
make
the time
it clear
for
that
John
I
Cox
support
to
the
answer.
president. I think he has a chance of being the best president we've ever had. He's certainly the
Yeah.
And I'm surprised and I'm happy. I've been a movement conservative for 30 years. I have never given money to a Democrat. And I've been involved in the vineyards of the conservative movement. Now let's answer the question about the 10th Amendment. And that is, it's absolutely right. The 10th Amendment reserves all the powers to the state that aren't granted to the federal government.
Right.
Well, one of those major powers granted to the federal government is security and securing the borders. And that's the subject of most, if not all, of these lawsuits that have been filed by Becerra. It is incomprehensible to me that we have political leadership in California that is constantly at war with the White House in Washington to defend people who broke the law to come to this country.
Exactly.
We need to get people working together. I'm from Chicago. I have brought people together. I have turned around businesses. I have a 40-year career of getting accomplishments done and building. That's what I'm going to try to do with Washington, is work together to solve the problems. It's real easy to bloviate. It's real easy to get everybody excited, and that's what politicians do. They want to get people angry. They want to get people fearful. That's not what a businessman does. A businessman appeals to your reason, appeals to your common sense of good, on the ability to get things accomplished that solve the problems. That's why 19 states now have governors who are businessmen, and a lot of them are blue states.
Well, he's a businessman too.
California is going to be number 20 with a Republican businessman as governor.
And that's Alan.
I'm going rogue. You want to rebuttal there, or you want to keep going, Travis?
Tell us about the 10th Amendment.
We can go as long as you want. You know, here's the thing. You know, you got to realize, Steve and I have our points of disagreement, right? Steve's a great fiscal conservative, but you know, Steve believes in a lot of things that I don't believe in, like legalized prostitution.
Ooh.
I'm clear about that. The California Democrats.
Gavin Newsom believes in it, though.
Wait, John Cox can say something about that too, because he supported Gary Johnson.
Oh!
Give me a break. We hashed that over so many times.
So again, the mainstream media and the California Democratic Party wants to try to bring up the 10th Amendment and quote-unquote local control or states' rights when they don't like having a U.S. president that follows the U.S. Constitution, that puts American citizens first.
That's it.
California, let me tell you, over the next 8 years, they're going to be the best 8 years of your life. This will be the greatest state in the nation.
Yes.
California will throw its weight around. But as long as we have a friend and ally in the White House, we're going to do the smart thing. And we're going to make sure that all of those great times that are coming over the entire country come over those Rockies, and we're going to bring them home right here to California. Don't let the mainstream media confuse you. Don't let those Democrats like Jerry Brown, Javier Becerra, crooked Javier Becerra, Antonio Virgos, or sleazy Gavin Newsom tell you otherwise. California was once the greatest state, and over the next 8 years, we will be again.
Yeah.
Continue with your response.
Well, you know, I will remind you that Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected governor in 2003 in the recall. I watched that from afar. And I got to tell you, nobody came into office with more excitement, more people cheering.
Are you
him on,
absolutely
more
comparing
people,
him to Schwartz, a
rah,
housekeeper?
rah, rah, and he got nothing accomplished. And we need to make sure that we get a governor who has a record of
Schwartz, a housekeeper, is not a Republican.
proposing reforms that will deal with the problems in Sacramento. It's all real good for politicians to tell you what they're going to do. It's another thing to have them follow through. I'm sick and tired of politicians who just tell me one thing when they're running for office and then they do something completely different. I want somebody who gets the job done. I have have a 30-year track record in the conservative movement. And you can look it up. I have been an advocate for conservative ideas and principles. And you know why? It's because conservative ideas
Crappy John
work.
is low energy.
And that's the argument I'm going to make to the people of this state. Free market capitalism is the best path to prosperity. And my life shows it, because I started with nothing on the south side of Chicago. That's going to be a story that's going to get people interested in this campaign, and we're going to win this governorship.
Travis Allen will win.
You know, I absolutely love this when John wants to talk about a record of action. The only record of action we have from John is the 3 races that he lost. He ran for President of the United States, lost. Ran for Senate in Illinois, lost. He even ran for County Clerk Recorder, and yes, he lost that race as well.
Oh.
I have won every single race that I have ever run in because California needs a winner. Let's talk about record of action. So,
whoa.
Assemblyman's time. Continue.
Let's talk about a record of action. When I became your California State Assemblyman over the last 6 years, I have amassed the most conservative vote record in the entire California State Legislature. I have a 100% vote record from Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, California Taxpayers Association, National Federation of Independent Business Owners, A and A+ from NRA and Firearms Policy Coalition, and yes, a 0% from Planned Parenthood in 13, 15, and 17. Right? Yeah. By the way, you give me 67% and 16 because I voted to make tampons tax-free. Who knew? I love the tax break. What can I say? But here's the bottom line. The bottom line is I have run the largest volunteer organization in the state of California. We have run and won 20 races up and down the state, including breaking the supermajority of the Democrats in 2014 in the Senate and in the Assembly.
Yes.
Go ahead, clap. That's good. I brought 500 volunteers to elect Andy Vidak, a senator, Republican, in the middle of Central Valley in 93-degree heat, and yes, I was wearing a suit. 22% 10 favorite seat. I brought 600 people to San Diego. You want to talk about action? You got action right here. Look it up on the internet, and that's what we're going to do.
Yay!
There's one candidate on this stage who was endorsed by the California Pro-Life Council, and that's me. And they seriously rebutted Travis's claim that he was pro-life. And you need to know this, by the way, because it's going to come up in his race against Gavin Newsom, if he ever gets that far.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. You lied about his record, John.
Because Travis has missed 500 votes in the Assembly, and he's collected per diems
Bullshit.
during all those. This is not a plan.
That's a lie. I've looked at it.
You need to understand what the record is, and we've got the data on this. You also need to understand that the votes on Planned Parenthood were not just about tampons. They're about a whole lot of votes that dealt with people who were abortion providers that Travis missed the vote on. And
No, not true.
Because you need to have
I looked at it. It's not true. Liar.
Life. I've stood up for family. I've stood up for the conservative principles. That's why the California Pro-Life Council endorsed me.
It's because you lied about Travis's record.
Because we're doing a lot of pretty juicy line of questioning, each candidate will get 1 more minute, and then we will move on, starting with the Assemblyman.
Let's talk about a real vote record here. Okay?
Yes.
The only vote we know about from John Cox was to support pro-choice Gary Johnson.
Yep.
Right? Now,
Goofy Gary.
This whole thing about Travis Allen misvote. This is why I advocate for a part-time legislature. I believe that your legislature should have to work real jobs because you know what most of those votes are? You know what they do in the California legislature? They gavel down. They're there for 30 minutes. They name the state flower or the state dinosaur or a day or a week after something, and then they gavel down and they collect their per diem. The California legislature wastes your time and it wastes your money. I have been there for every single major vote. You will not find any yes vote for me on anything on California that you would disagree with. That's what I call a 100% vote record. I was never a never-Trumper, and you better believe I never gave money to any friend of George Soros in 2016.
John Cox lied about Travis Allen.
I doubt conservative bona fides, but I don't now. Beware of a part-time legislature, because the problem in California is the power of the unions, the amount of money they generate from the dues. And the Supreme Court might help us on that with this Janus case, but that's only going to reduce the amount of take that they get, maybe about 30%.
No, it'll reduce everything.
What we need to do is get the districts reduced in size so that real people can run and we can debate issues on people's doorsteps. Right now, we are in a super minority.
Not anymore.
And I regret that, and that is destroying this state because the unions and the trial lawyers and the environmental groups have so much money that they raise that they can overwhelm the amount of money that the Republican Party can put into these races. We have got to turn around the state. A part-time legislature is only going to give them more time to raise money. And that's not what we need to do. We need to reduce
That's not true. Texas is part-time, and they're perfect.
Can run, so that you can all run in your neighborhoods and talk about issues and talk about solutions, and that's the way we're going to take back the state of California.
And time.
Texas is part-time, and they're doing great.
But Assemblyman, you can respond as part of your minute and a half for the next question. Our next question is from our student here at the El Camino Speech and Debate Club, John Massey.
Historically, California has aligned itself with more progressive policies. With President Trump being elected, this disparity is becoming more apparent. How, as governor, would you address the gap between California's liberal tendencies and Republican values in terms of policy?
Is this mine?
Let's just go back to you, yes. that was a big back and forth. So John Cox, go ahead, a minute and a half.
You know, we gotta win independence. There's no question about that. There aren't enough conservative Republicans in this state to win this race. I was just at the Republican Governors Association meeting in Washington. I talked to Larry Hogan. Larry Hogan is the governor of Maryland. Maryland has a 20% Republican registration. It is a blue progressive state. Larry Hogan is a conservative Republican businessman. And he got elected by emphasizing the quality of life. He got elected by talking about solutions to problems. He never varied from his conservative
Larry
principles,
Hogan is awesome.
But people, independents,
He's a good guy.
were sick of the unaffordability. They were sick of the taxes. They were sick of the bloviating politicians in Maryland. That's what I'm going to do to win this race, and that's the way I'm going to counter the progressive nature of this state. We've got to win independents and moderate Democrats. Take a look at the Wall Street Journal article today, the Democrat Tea Party. They're bouncing Dianne Feinstein because she's too conservative. That's ridiculous.
It's insane.
Over the cliff.
They're commies.
What we need is a solid Republican conservative who is advocating conservative principles, but is talking about reforming the corruption and cronyism in Sacramento. That's the issue. That's the issue that's going to get independents and Democrats to support me, along with the conservative Republican base, because I am a conservative Republican, and that's the way that we're going to turn this state red once more.
And time.
Well, you know, John Cox is spending so much time in D.C., maybe he should run for U.S. Senate instead. What do you say?
Yeah!
I want Cox to finally have a chance to win. So, look, don't believe it for a moment.
He should. No, he absolutely should run for U.S. Senate.
What is liberal is the Bay Area of San Francisco, which truly runs the state of California.
Yeah, it sucks.
I'm going to take my word for it. Jerry Brown, Nancy Pelosi, Boxer, Feinstein, Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, all of them from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Ooh.
They do not represent California. We are the forgotten, super silent majority, and we will be silent no longer.
Yeah!
In 2014, Jerry Brown got elected governor with 4.3 million votes. In 2016, Donald Trump just got 4.4 million votes in California. All we got to do is turn out the Trump voters, and Travis Allen will be your next governor.
Yeah!
Not only am I endorsed by Californians for Trump, not only do I have over 38,000 volunteers, more than any governor in Republican history in California, the issues are on our side, because they always are, because common sense is always in fashion. Reversing the sanctuary state.
Yes.
Cutting California's taxes. making sure that we are never a single-payer state, getting tough on crime, fixing our roads, completing the state water project, fixing our schools. These are the issues that every single Californian cares about. This is my 5-point plan, and that's exactly what we're going to do right here in California.
Yeah!
Well, you've begun to address this issue, and I want to ask you a question about why this is the case. According to the Secretary of State's latest report of voter registration in January, Republican registration in California is down to 25.4%.
25.4?
That's just slightly ahead of no party preference at 25%, far behind the Democrats at 44%.
Damn.
Tell me why you think only 1/4 of California voters are Republicans.
Travis?
Okay, I think it's very simple. I think that Republicans have not had a champion, a true leader for decades. It's about time to change that. What do you say?
Yeah!
California needs somebody they can cheer for. California needs someone that actually believes what they're saying. Not an actor that when he gets in office and gets beaten at the ballot box goes home, right? Because Arnold the actor would have come back. Arnold the governor went home and there was a Democrat waiting at home. There was a Democrat chief of staff waiting for him in the office, and we never saw him again. We have not had a real conservative in California for decades. And without leadership, you get declining registration. So this is very simple. Don't believe the numbers. There is a reason why last year I introduced legislation for voter ID in California.
Yes!
Again this year, because if you need an ID to go onto a plane or into a bank or wherever else, in the grocery store, you better believe you need an ID to vote.
Stop the voter fraud.
We also announced 3 weeks ago that we are going to audit the DMV. Over 1 million people illegally living in this state have gotten driver's licenses in the last 3 years. And in April, they're going to do voter, where every single person gets a driver's license automatically registered to vote.
Holy crap.
I'll tell you, we got to audit the DMV. We're going to compare all of these people that have gotten driver's licenses against California citizens and U.S. citizens. And we will clean up our voter rolls of people who are illegally dead people and people that have moved away. The
Dead people.
Democrats have been cooking our elections for too long, and we will
Yep.
clean it up.
Stop the voter fraud. It's voter fraud. Huge problem. Huge.
I didn't just wake up one day and decide to run for governor. I've been looking at this for some time, and I did a lot of polling.
When you moved here?
In 2016. The public is disgusted with the corruption and cronyism. And my opponent is part of it. He's taking union contribution and lobbyist contributions.
No.
What we've got to do is we've got to break the hold of the special interests. 80% of your fellow Californians believe that lobbyists and special interests control Sacramento.
They do.
And it's not just the unions, it's also big businesses. We have got to have an effort directed at getting rid of that corruption and cronyism. Yes, it is about leadership. That's why 19 states have businessmen as governors right now, Republican businessmen, because we propose solutions. That's what I'm talking about with the neighborhood legislation. That's what I'm talking about with attacking the corruption and cronyism in Sacramento. The people want their state back. It's been a failure of leadership on the Republican side. We had a few assemblymen who voted for a tax increase recently, the cap and trade tax. That's a real problem. I am dead set against any Republican who votes to raise taxes. We've got to stand by our principles. We've got to get government on a diet. The reason your roads are crappy is because Caltrans spends $4.50 for every dollar that Texas spends building a mile of road. We have got to have zero-based budgeting. We have got to get rid of the regulation morass that's killing small business. This is going to happen if we attack the corruption and cronyism that exists in Sacramento, and I am dedicating this campaign to transforming politics. I'm not here just to get cheers. I'm here to transform politics and turn this state around.
Fuera.
Thank you very much. Look, John Cox wants California to look more like Chicago.
Oh! Oh!
He wants to put 12,000.
It already is. Dead people vote.
Sacramento, and he thinks that's going to fix the problem? Look, if you got a problem with corruption today, you better believe there is a massive problem with corruption in California. It's called the California Democrat Party.
Yeah!
No further than the DNC, the memos, right, and all of the corruption that we have seen out of these guys. You think that putting 12,000 more politicians in Sacramento is going to fix something? That's only going to make it worse. Instead, what we need to do is send them home. It works in Florida, it works in Texas, and last I checked, they're doing great.
Can I just beware of politicians? Beware of politicians that lie to you. And we've had a few, by the way.
Oh,
okay?
brother.
Mr. Allen knows very well that 12,000 politicians don't go to Sacramento. They stay in their neighborhoods and represent your neighborhoods. New Hampshire has this system. New Hampshire has this system. Excuse me, it's my time. New Hampshire has this system and is the most free state in the country. That's where I got this idea from, and they've had it for 150 years. Let me tell you, insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I don't doubt why Travis wants to run for governor. He's been in the assembly proposing bills and bills and bills and getting nothing done. I am
Democrats.
done with that. I want this state to change. I want this state to be affordable. I want it to be open for business. I want it to be safe. I want it to be a place where my kids can live and have my grandchildren here. That's not going to happen with the cronies and the corrupt in control of Sacramento. And you have to believe it. Yes, we have to change this system. We have to transform politics. Because if we don't, this state is going to go the way of Illinois and New York and a lot of other states that are failed states.
Damn right.
I want to deal with another topic that deals with why our state has such crappy public services. A recent Stanford report has found that soaring pension debts are crowding out public services at the local level. Pension debts top $1 trillion according to, just in our state, according to one recent report. So, and there are many stories of $200,000, $300,000 pensions, $1 million drop programs caused by unions, some of whom you'll be seeking support from, I suppose. So how would you, as governor, handle the state's growing pension crisis, and what would you say to those unions?
They could kiss my ass.
I'm a CPA, I'm an attorney, I drafted pension plans. The people who get most hurt when these pensions go bust are the workers. That's the argument I'm going to make. I'm also going to talk to people about the $800,000 a year dentists in the prison system.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. And police and fire and nurses, we love them all, but you should go to a website called transparentcalifornia.com and you'll see nurses with a base salary of $80,000 or $100,000 and they're getting $150,000 in overtime. One after another. I run a business. If any of my managers allows overtime, I bring him in and I make him explain it. But that's the problem. There's nobody watching the store. That's what's got to happen. We've got to make sure that this state is run efficiently. This state is being run in a quality fashion. That's not going on right now with the politicians in charge. We need to put a businessman in charge, someone who's had 40 years of experience managing enterprises, turning them around, who has fought against corruption, who has dealt with his businesses with total integrity. I don't lie to anybody. I could have lied about my vote. I didn't do it because I wanted everybody to know that I don't ever lie to you and I don't ever shade the truth.
Yes, you
We
did.
need to have leadership that has integrity. That's what you'll get from me. Thank you.
You lied about Travis Allen's record on life.
California's in real trouble. California faces a very real bankruptcy if we don't get our pension and unfunded health care liability costs under control. In the California State Legislature, which I've served in for the last 6 years, I was vice chair of the Public Employees Retirement System. So I saw all of these issues firsthand. According to the state, the unfunded liability of the pension system and the health care is over $300 billion. According to others at Stanford, it approaches over $1 trillion. This is a massive problem, which is why just last year, I proposed a bill that for every California government worker that gets a pension statement at the end of the year, there would be a second line underneath their promised amount that would tell them exactly how much of that is actually funded. You see, because they're funded at 70 cents on the dollar today. And their healthcare, their retiree healthcare, is entirely unfunded. By the way, it's a massive benefit. Work for the state of California for 20 years, you get your medical covered for life.
This is
Did
ridiculous.
anybody think of any private company that does that? Absolutely not.
This is
Let
crazy.
me tell you what the answer is. The first answer is we make sure we keep our promises to California's government workers. They contracted for these benefits, they contracted for these jobs, they have worked for them, and they have promised benefits that will be paid. But secondly, we must be transparent about what we're doing. We have to get these lying union bosses out of the way and tell the truth to these government workers about how much money is actually in there for their retirements. And tell the people of California how much trouble California is truly in. The last point is this. Oh. 2 seconds. Just recently, the California pension board took their assumed rate return from 7% to 7.5% in an effort to further hide how big the trouble was.
Okay.
This is wrong. This is what we got to change.
Got to stop you there. You get a 5 extra second bonus for the next question, John.
Thank you.
All right. So Shelley with our next question.
He doesn't sound too happy.
There is a $4 billion bond on the June ballot in California statewide, Proposition 68, for water and parks.
We
And
already
the real
had a
cost
bond.
of these bonds likely will be between $6 billion and $7 billion, maybe more, depending on interest rates.
It's double.
This isn't the first time that we've borrowed money or asked the voters to approve borrowed money for water and parks. Since 2002, voters have approved over $15 billion in bonds for water and parks. Do you favor or oppose Proposition 68 to borrow another $4 billion?
Is that me?
That's Travis.
Fantastic. I absolutely oppose this 100%. I think California has enough debt. What do you say?
Yes.
Go to my Facebook page. Look at the post that I did. It's at Join Travis Allen. By the way, if you're watching at home, go to Join Travis Allen or Travis Allen Volunteers. They're live streaming right now. You can watch. If you miss something, you can go back and look at it again. In 2000, well, actually just recently, they proposed this extra $4 billion water bond. Water and parks. The problem is just a couple of years ago, they passed another $7 billion water bond. Yet not one penny of this was spent for any new water storage anywhere in the state of California. I voted for that bond because it was in the middle of one of the worst droughts we've ever seen. Raise your hand if you saved water between 2014 and 2017. Turn off the tap, maybe killed your front lawn, wash your car. I hope to God you flushed your toilet. But if you listen to Jerry Brown, he said get your neighbor a fine if you see him washing his car. That's how we passed another $7 billion bond. Not one penny went to water storage anywhere in the state of California because the Democrats don't want to complete the state water project. This bond is another sham. It's another way to take money out of your pocket and send it to Sacramento. Instead, what we got to do is rebuild California's water infrastructure, finally complete the California State Water Project.
Kill the crazy train.
Up and down the state of California.
And kill the frickin' crazy train.
I would be opposed to this water bond. The bonded debt in this state, it's $1.2 trillion on the pension debt. It's about $150 billion on the unfunded retiree health care, and it's $250 billion on water and school bonds that are sitting out there. And I got to tell you, a lot of that school debt is on schools that don't even get used anymore. We have got to absolutely complete the California Water Project, and we are I am unalterably opposed to the Delta Tunnel. Yep. And that's another crony project. That's another crony project. The second thing I'll do after I eliminate Sanctuary State will be to get rid of the crazy train as well.
I mentioned that.
It's all about corruption and cronyism, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the reason why we have this water problem. The lobbyists, the environmental extremists in Sacramento, they go raise money in Silicon Valley, then they have to distribute it in California, in Sacramento, to the politicians who do their bidding. They have to actually show some work to be done. What we need to do is a number of things. In addition to building more reservoirs, we also have to do desalination.
Yes.
I lived down in San Diego. It took 18 years to get the desalination plant, and it was twice the budget. And why? Because the trial lawyers. The trial lawyers are one of the crony, corrupt groups that
Kill
control Sacramento. We've got to take them out of power. We've got to change the structure. We've got to make sure that this state is sustainable, that we have the water for our farmers. You know, agriculture produces way, way more jobs than Hollywood, but it's under the gun because it doesn't have enough water. We need to make sure that there's water for agriculture, for the people, and that's what I'll do as a builder. I look to the long term and look to the idea of building. Thank you.
All right, we are running very close on, very short on time, but how's everybody doing? Are you guys having fun?
Yeah.
Can we do a couple more questions? Do you have it in you? Yeah?
Sure. Can we ask some?
You guys doing okay?
Jen, I got all night.
Yeah, perfect. Well,
Can we ask questions?
Everybody, we're just staying up all night. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to ask our panelists, Steve Greenhut and Susan Shelley, to pick one more question. And I'm going to ask each candidate to answer this question. It's a lightning round. We're going to do it in 1 minute. I know you guys can do it. I'll start with you, Steve Greenhut.
Yeah, I wanted to address the cap and trade path issue. California continues to go down that path. We saw quite a few Republicans in the legislature
Rhinos
seem to support this.
Traders.
And it means higher costs for the state's businesses. I've been thinking about an alternative approach. What about something like a revenue-neutral carbon tax that doesn't increase taxes, but taxes carbon emissions as a way to reduce the amount that they're put out, but reduces taxes in other areas to make up for it? I bring that up because I felt like the California Republicans didn't try to play chess at all with the Democrats. They just seemed to roll over.
Yep.
I was wondering if you thought of that as a possible way to put Democrats in a bind. If they oppose that, then they show that they aren't really serious about reducing carbon emissions, but are about grabbing more tax revenues. Address that, or maybe tell me what your other approach, what your other ideas might be for dealing with cap and trade.
We'll start with you, John Cox, 1 minute.
You know, a carbon tax might make sense. I would never agree to it with the legislature we have now.
Carbon tax is wrong, period.
Spend the money to get elected. I mean, that's what they do, ladies and gentlemen. They're nothing but professional fundraisers, and they hand out our money to people so that they get votes because they are campaigning in districts with 500,000 and 1 million people. What we've got to do is we've got to get a better legislature, and if we get a better legislature that's elected truly by the people and not by the special interests, we could do things like that. But I don't trust them. And let's real quick on taxes. Texas and Florida have no income tax. How about we make California a zero income tax state?
Yeah!
We have more retirees and tourism than Florida. I mean, it's a swamp. You can't live there half the year. We have more oil production in Kern County than in Midland, Texas. We have more cattle in California than Texas.
Time.
What do those states have? Better political management.
Yes, Republicans.
You know, my opponent who's trailing me in the polls, John Cox, just said he was in favor of a carbon tax.
Just like Gary Johnson. Just like Gary Johnson.
In the past, John Cox has advocated for a 23% sales tax. I don't know about you, but I say it's time we stop all the tax increases in California.
I just heard him say that.
I will make sure that we do not pass any additional taxes.
He's got the rebuttal.
The cap and trade plan of Jerry Brown was a cap and tax plan. There was 8 Republicans that voted for it, and you better believe that I was not one of them. I voted no. I made speeches. I made videos that were seen by millions of people around the state. And when those Republicans voted for it, I was the voice in the room that called for the vacation of the chair of the Republican Assembly Leader, and we got him kicked out of office for voting to raise your taxes.
Chad, cheating Chad.
I will tell you this, the answer is not taxing Californians more. The answer is not taxing companies more in California. Because when we raise these taxes, these businesses leave California. The answer is just like Trump. We're going to cut taxes in California.
Yay!
I'll borrow a line from the Gipper. There you go again, Jimmy.
His name is Travis.
Beware of politicians who will openly lie to you in a forum like this.
You just said that you supported
the fair tax. All of you have heard of the fair tax? It is a consumption tax. It's the smartest tax. and it replaces the income, the estate, the payroll taxes. It eliminates the IRS. How about that for an idea?
You said you supported a cap and trade tax.
A fair tax. He just told you I supported a 23% sales tax. And if you didn't know any better, you'd go that Cox supports higher taxes. And that's misleading.
Just like you misled on his Planned Parenthood record.
Politicians who give you a slogan and don't explain what they mean.
How much
and
was
lie
that?
and lie to
Wasn't it 23%?
It was 23%.
And you heard that here.
And it replaced much higher payroll, income, estate taxes, and was favored by a whole lot of conservatives. Of course, you've only been a conservative for a few years.
Oh, please. Boo. Boo. Fuera. Fight. Someone get the sheriff.
Okay. Gentlemen. Yes.
Ouch.
You were drafting the ideal, perfect state transportation budget. What percentage would go to public transit projects?
Yeah.
What percentage would go to new road construction? And what percentage would go to maintenance and repairs?
1 minute.
Oh, brother.
Thank you so much. I think our transportation budget should be used to fix our roads and expand our freeways so we get out of the worst in the nation traffic in the country. What do you say?
Yes. Widen the 405.
In traffic, blame a Democrat. Because you see,
Yes.
they have controlled the California legislature for 39 of the last 40 years. And anytime they wanted, they could have gotten you out of traffic. But they did not. Instead, what they do is they fund the California Transportation Agency, Caltrans, with over $13 billion. They have over 3,500 extra duplicative employees.
Yep, fire them.
2014, making over $500,000 a year.
Damn.
The next thing they want is another road tax, a consumption tax. John Cox, again, thank you very much.
Oh.
This is the problem with California. We need to use our taxpayer dollars to rebuild our state, our roads, our highways, our bridges. Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of getting traffic in California. Let's fix our transportation.
Oh my God. I think John's feeling a little triggered here.
Let's solve the problem. The
Ouch.
reason I got involved in the constitutional amendment to repeal the gas tax, as opposed to the statutory one, which had a whole lot of provisions for gaming, Indian gaming involved in it, is because there was no allowance for new capacity. As a matter of fact, it specifically provided no new capacity, as well as it had no reform of Caltrans. And I told you that Caltrans spends $4.50 for every dollar Texas spends. So we've got to have more capacity and better roads. I've been stuck in traffic a whole lot in this campaign. But we also have to have more mass transit in certain areas. There's a trolley in San Diego that's very good at shuttling people to well-visited sites. We could also do with a lot more higher density building of homes near population centers and near mass transit. We actually have to have more density.
No density.
We have a housing crisis, and we have housing.
Not Agenda 21. That's Agenda 21. Oh my God. He just said he supported a cap and trade tax.
It really wouldn't be a fun debate if I didn't get to ask you guys one question.
I can't believe I heard
It's a tough
that.
question, so don't dagger me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot the messenger. But on my radio
Like
show,
Cudahy?
we talk a lot
Every single
about
day of
Arnold
Cudahy?
Schwarzenegger. We talk
Schwartz a
lot
housekeeper.
about Prop 14 and the gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving to the state of California. And it is very tough. You guys, first of all, a round of applause to both John Cox and
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Especially Travis.
And running for elected office as a Republican is even tougher. So thank you guys, first of all. For being
Yay. Kind of.
But the question is this. I want to see a Republican in Sacramento.
Yes!
We cannot afford Gavin Newsom.
No!
He makes Antonio Villaraigosa look conservative. That's a problem for me. So it's been my thought that Republican candidates, and you guys are the top two, need to pick a date, whatever date that might be. Whoever is leading in the polls, we need to coalesce behind that.
Yes!
person.
Yes!
It's a primary so that we have a Megyn Kelly and make either one of you raise your right hand and take a vote. But the question is, would either of you, or both of you, consider supporting together if we set a date and try to get one candidate put forth on that general election ballot in November?
Truth or
lie?
Well,
He's looking at his watch.
It goes back to why I'm running, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, we have a poll that shows that I'm solidly in second place right now.
No.
Which poll is that? Excuse me.
By Gary Johnson?
Excuse me, youngster, it's my turn.
Oh!
I'm in this race to
Ouch.
transform politics. I am tired of the corruption and the cronyism in the state. I am tired of politicians who will tell you anything to get elected. I am here. I'm giving up a lot.
I call him Crappy John.
I'm dedicating myself
Crappy
to
John.
this
That's his
because
Trump
I
nickname.
believe I want to have something to leave to my children, and that's a functional state. And this state is not functional.
Nope.
This state is in the throes of being owned by the big unions and the big businesses, the cronies and the corrupt. And we need to do something about it.
Demo rats.
So I truly believe, Jennifer, that I am in second place. I will be in second or maybe even first. If Travis would go run for the U.S. Senate, I'd probably be in first. But this is not just about
You
me.
stole his line.
I've never been about me. If you look at my background, my political activism, my charitable work, it's not about me. It's about the ideas. It's about the policy. It's about the transformation. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm dedicating myself to this.
Gotta call time, and I gotta ask, is that a yes?
Answer the question.
I'm in this race to win it.
Okay, Travis, minute and a half for you, your response.
Well, let me tell you something. You know, John Cox, who's never won an election in his life, tells you he's in to win. He's already spent $4.3 to $4.5 million on his failed ballot initiative and his campaign for governor. And he trails in every single major poll. I've spent less than 1/20th of that amount. Just saying. Now, let's take a look at the polls. Survey USA, LA Times, IGS Berkeley, PPIC. Are there any other polls out there? We lead every single one.
Yeah!
I will give you a date. The date is June 5th. When you look down in your newspaper and it reads, Travis Allen challenges Gavin Newsom to be the next governor of the state of California.
Yeah!
What you got to remember is this. We have a brand new president because he didn't listen to any polls. He didn't listen to any insiders. He didn't listen to the Washington Post, which in October of 2016 wrote an article that said that his campaign had a 0 chance to win. You saw, oh no, because you know what? The answer is no. Because California needs a winner. And any candidate that would step aside because some polls or some insider tells them to does not have the heart and the fire that we need to win in this state. You gotta be all in. But I'll tell you this too. Every single poll is very clear. I know John likes to keep his money, he likes to spend it too. I will tell you that I will be your candidate in June, and I will be on your ballot in November, and then I will be your next governor.
Yeah! Yeah!
Okay, so big round of applause for our candidates. I want to give you We're going to get a 2-minute closing statement from each candidate. Travis Allen will start because of the coin toss backstage. John Cox chose to go last. And then I'm going to ask you, we're going to give a big round of applause and thank the candidates for being here because they have a brutal schedule. These guys are all over the place, so we're going to give them a round of applause. I'm going to introduce you to someone. I want you to keep your seats because we're going to do a straw poll. And want to know your thoughts on this debate. It will only take a couple of seconds. We know you're all tired and had long days, but I'm going to use this tomorrow morning on the morning answer to kind of recap this debate. So your results are really important. So stay seated after the closing statements and we'll get on with the program. I'm going to set the clock now for 2 minutes and we will start with Assemblyman Travis Allen.
I was born and raised in California. I love this state. Unfortunately, due to Jerry Brown and Gavin Newsom and the California Democrats, this state has been run into the ground. My parents have left, my brothers left, my best friend lives in Texas. My clients that I manage money for now live in 20 different states around the nation. Because for 39 of the last 40 years, the California Democrats in the legislature have run the state into the ground. The Jerry Brown family for 24 of the last 50 years has run the state into the ground. Gavin Newsom, Antonio Villaraigosa, and all of the Democrats want more poverty in California. They want more homelessness. They want more crime. And they want open borders. I will tell you that California's best days are ahead of them because we will elect a Republican governor in the state of California. In my first 100 days in office, I will reverse the illegal sanctuary state. And then you better believe I'm going to get to work on my 5-point plan. Number one, I'm going to cut taxes, starting with the repeal of the gas tax on day one in California. Number two, we're going to get tough on crime. We're going to repeal AB 109, Prop 57, and Prop 47. And California's communities will be safe again. And yes, that means we're going to respect your Second Amendment rights. Number three, we're going to fix our roads and expand our freeways to get us out of the worst of the nation traffic so we can get back home to our family and our friends without raising a dime of your tax dollars. And last, the second to last, we'll fix our broken education system. Our schools used to be the best in the nation. Our kids are now 46th and 47th in reading and math. Only 30% of our ninth graders are expected to finish a 4-year college degree. We must stand up to the California Teachers Union, fire bad teachers,
yes,
broken schools, and make sure that our children come first in our education system. And last, we will complete the California State Water Project. We are going to greenlight water projects up and down the state of California, building new water storage. We're not going to steal it from the north. You better believe we're never going to drain that delta. We're going to build brand new water storage up and down the state of California. On day one, as your governor, we will cut the high-speed rail, and I will return the money back to California.
Yeah!
I have never lost the race. I supported the Republican nominee.
Yeah!
I took my 19-year-old nephew to the inauguration, and I asked people why they voted for President Trump. And they told me almost universally it was drain the swamp. And that's because people don't trust politicians. Because politicians will tell you all they want to get you revved up and to believe them. What you have to look at with me is a record of achievement. I've been in the conservative vineyards for 30 years. I believe in conservative principles, and I put my time and my money to work. Yes, I've stepped in the arena because I believe that conservative principles work. 19 states around the country have elected business leaders. Rich Snyder in Michigan, who took over after Jennifer Granholm almost killed that state and was a 2-term governor. He's a CPA, a lawyer like me, and he's going to come out here to help me as well. We have 19 states around the country that have elected business leaders because we solve problems. We don't tell you just what you need to hear or what you want to hear to scream and yell and cheer. That's wonderful. But you have to actually get the job done. I'm always going to tell the truth. I've run my businesses for 40 years with integrity. I've been a conservative for my entire adult life. Believe me when I talk to you, because I am going to be telling the truth to you every step of the way. We have got to get rid of the corrupt and the cronies who are killing this state. The voters of this state know that this state is unaffordable, it is crushing small business, and it is leaving our children a massive pension debt. We cannot allow that to happen. I will not allow that to happen. I am putting my heart and soul in this race, and I ask for your support. Thank you very much.
Can I ask you all to stay in your seats for just a moment? The candidates will be available if they have a moment to greet you after the program ends. But first, a round of applause for John Cox, the gentleman traveler.
Last person is left, come see me in the back, get your Travis Allen for Governor t-shirts. I will
John Cox, you lied about Travis Allen's pro-life record. You lied about it. You have lied about it repeatedly. You dishonored this. You did it at the Redlands Tea Party. You should drop out right now. He totally lied about it. He's lied about it for the past 5 months. We don't want Chicago politics here, buddy. You lied about his pro-life record. You owe him an apology. He totally lied about it. He's been doing this for the past 5 months, and now you expect us to believe you?
Can we get a round of applause for our panelists, please? You guys are
I mean, it's just untenable. He's done it to churches. He's been telling churches that Travis Allen is pro-choice. It's not true. This is the kind of crap that's been going on. It's just astounding to me. All people had to do was look up the records on Planned Parenthood.
Okay, while the candidates get settled, we'd like to bring back the speech and debate club here at Alfino College. Rachel Lobo, John Massey, and Victoria Marshall. Come on up. This is an excellent job tonight, you guys. You did a great job with the questions. And these guys are all in their second year in speech and debate club here at the college. Want to get your initial reactions, John Massey? What did you make of the debate?
It was
Who
really
won? What were the strengths? What were the weaknesses?
Well, there are a bunch of liberals anyway.
You do get a mic. It's amazing how this works.
So I think there were some issues at the end when it came to whether or not the Republican Party would unify behind one candidate. As seen in the past in California,
guys, if we can pay attention here, we're wrapping up.
in the past, California's had some issues unifying behind one candidate, and it hasn't played well when it comes to electing individuals in California. So I think both candidates made a problem at the end of the debate when they both said they would not support each other.
Who would you vote for?
You want a winner? Who would you go for? We don't want to put you on the spot, but we do want to put you on the spot.
Travis!
Personally, the message of John Cox talking about draining the swamp, getting rid of politicians that no longer believe in the people, but believe in their own interests, benefiting their own people, I believe the way that California is and I believe it's
Oh, what a bunch of losers. USA! 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 I think we got him, guys.
Travis Allen is a much better.
Get out of here! We want Travis!
However, I tallied up the number of questions asked. There was 19 asked, out of which 11 Travis Allen avoided, and out of which
Not true.
4 John Cox avoided, which makes John Cox, I believe, probably the better candidate.
But you're gonna vote for Gavin, aren't you? You guys are gonna vote for Gavin, aren't you?
I have to say that John and Rachel pretty much summed up my thoughts on the debate.
Do you notice how they don't want these young people to speak?
My thoughts on the debate, so thank you for coming. Have a great night. Please drive safe.
All right, are we doing our straw poll?
Ready? Yeah, let's rock.
Let's go see what they're up to.
Go. It's all about Omar. Oh, I gotta.
Guys, thank you so much for
Okay.
attending. Appreciate it.
I gotta.
Thank you so much. Tomorrow morning we'll have recording after our name in 70s at AM 590.
Yeah, I couldn't hold off at that. John Cox totally lied about.
USA!
He totally lied.
USA!
USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! USA! US! Hey Don, you made it! How are you? Why wasn't Ricardo here? He should have been here.
Yeah, he should have.
You should have been here.
Why are they here? Yeah, they need to shut up.
I don't know.
All they do is lie.
Yeah, I'm on the council right now. That's right.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Okay.
So come back and sign this petition.
Does he have?
Yeah,
okay.
he's busy now, but come back.
Hold on a sec. So, Ron, you're all set for the city council race and everything?
No.
Do you need signatures still or what?
No. It's mayor. It's mayor.
I mean for mayor, I'm sorry. Mayor. But just give it, hold on a sec. I'm talking to him. So, okay, you're all set. You don't need signatures or anything. Okay, everybody. My name's Arthur Schaper. I'm voting for Ron Riggs for mayor.
Thank you very much, Arthur.
You've got my vote.
Yeah, we've got all 30 signatures.
Okay, you're all set. You've got my vote. You're the only one who showed up. I appreciate it. So
I would love to get your.
Hey, this is kind of weird. I usually see you in a city council setting. So this is to run for. You need a signature, okay? Because I've done this for everybody else. Okay.
I am a recent candidate. I pulled my papers just a few days ago.
Okay.
And so I'm now pushing my campaign in earnest.
Okay, so this is fine. Is this for LA County?
LA County
okay,
residents.
Just a word of the wise, all these candidates have always told me, make sure that you get your counties right. You know, you don't want to turn in Orange County for something else.
That's right. Thank you.
Don't go, okay, can I go after him or someone in line?
Sure.
Okay, I just need someone to hold it for me. Are you all set?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need someone to hold it for me because I gotta do this. Okay.
These are.
Do you know who those people are, Jack?
No.
Probably Sylvia and Marlo's people.
Oh, diet pills?
Maybe.
Put a stop to it.
Okay, Torrance.
Tom Palzer was here.
Okay, I think that John Cox. Could you check it to make sure that I did it right? Because I'm always worried about that.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's complete.
Okay.
It's filled out.
Okay, perfect. I'm not looking at anybody's. Hey, thanks, David.
Anyway, thanks very much.
Sorry to interrupt. Thanks for coming. That's why I support you. You've gone everywhere. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, this is what it looks like behind the scenes, everybody. It's a big stage. And this is what it looks like. This is where all the magic happens, everybody. Now you get to see it. I did it. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, I couldn't withhold. The stuff that John Cox did was just so odious for him to lie.
You guys, I need you to come out the door this way, please.
What's happening? Are they blocking the exit? Are they blocking the entrance or something? Okay.
I'm just having people exit out this way because
It's unsafe?
it's crowded.
Oh, it's crazy.
No,
Okay.
sir, it's just a little crowded, and I was just.
I just want to see really quick. I promise I won't go out that way. Is everything okay? Hey, say your name again?
My name is Burton Brink.
Okay,
State Assembly.
Burton Brent?
Brink.
Give me your card, please. Okay. There he is. Thanks for doing it. Ed Chow's awful. Isn't he married to Judy Chu?
No.
Someone.
Michael Ng is married to Judy Chu.
Okay.
But Ed Chow.
I'm trying to get some light here.
Sure.
That's better.
Ed Chow is the chosen one that Judy Chu brought in.
Oh, so she runs the machine down there.
She runs
up
the
there.
machine, absolutely.
Okay, sorry to. Okay, good. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah,
all right, good luck, man. Okay, it's tough up there. Okay. You gotta put some money in it. Okay.
Where are you from in the LA?
I live in here in Torrance.
You do? Okay,
So this is really nice for him to come to my city. It's really nice.
That's awesome, man.
Yep. look at the crowd he's got, folks. And who wants John? Nobody. This is it, folks.
So the third candidate dropped out.
Okay, so Claude, you guys are okay. So yeah, let me know when you're going.
Oh yeah, I know. We're not gonna leave you.
Please don't.
We're not gonna let you Uber.
You're gonna leave me with those brown supremacists. Okay, I don't think you can tell the difference more stark. This is John Cox, where nobody's there, and here's Travis Allen, where everybody is. I think it pretty much says it all, folks. We need to get behind Travis Allen. I don't care how much money John Cox says he has.
All right, there.
Do you even have a website? Are you getting a website up or anything?
No, it's up.
Okay, so okay. I'll make sure to check it. Okay, I don't want to alienate everybody else, but come on, do me a favor. Do you have a 2XL? Sure.
I don't know. I know there's extra L's.
Give me one, please. Give me a break. Come on.
I will. Huh?
Can you get a minute?
You want the gray or the baby blue? It's like a...
There's gray or there's what?
It's not a baby blue, it's more like an aqua blue.
Give me the gray one. What? I'm a writer. This is what I do, freelance. Yes.
Nice, man. Yeah, I'm like a real estate, I'm a health, fitness, martial arts coach.
Oh, great.
I travel around the state. I've been to probably 4 or 5 different events. I went to my first debate for USC.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Let me give you okay, let me give you my card.
Okay, cool.
That way you can
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm not the president anymore, but I used to be, and that's what I have right away. So
nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No problem. What's your name again? Let me see.
Brett.
Okay, got it. I won't put it up there. Keep you safe.
Okay.
I'll think about that because the bottom line is California has so much land. We need to get passes out.
I've got a few. Yeah, I'm trying to tell them we need to get some hats. We need to get hats.
But I keep seeing
If I leave, I have to stay out? Okay, I can't. I don't want to leave yet. Yeah, I'm not ready to leave yet, so. Okay, folks. It looks like I'm gonna have to round up. I just want to show everybody how many police are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, Cheryl. Okay, that's closed now. Hey, it's Christine. Yay, beautiful hat. I know, absolutely. I'm voting for Ken. Of course I am. Hey, all right. Very happy for you. Hi, how you doing?
Really nice to meet you.
Good, nice to meet you. And Ron, I'm voting for Ron. I got 8 police officers. Let me just look at it. Hey, hey, hey. look at the wild animals out there, everybody. Look at the wild animals. This is how they spend their lives. They have nothing to show for it. They just come here and they've got no lives. They have no jobs. They're just a bunch of, this is the remnants of the Ku Klux Klan here in California right here. They don't even have the decency to wear hoods anymore.
It was pretty good.
Hey, Elvira.
Hey, Arthur, how are you?
See, I remembered you this time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it. Thanks again. Hello. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. John Fitt, excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay, folks, I better wrap it up. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Please share this video. Please get this out there. We need to really make it very clear. We want Travis Allen. John Cox, I called him out publicly for lying about Travis Allen's pro-life record. I've called him out on everything else. This is a guy who has no business being in politics. We've got to get rid of John Cox. We all got to get behind Travis Allen. I want you to, all right, folks, I got a sayonara. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.